Tonight, I invite you to do something wonderfully simple. Just lie back, close your eyes if you wish, and let yourself drift into a gentle state of curiosity. The world outside can wait. The lists, the worries, the noise, they can fade for now. Because tonight, all you need to do is listen and let your imagination wander.
You don't have to remember everything.
In fact, you don't need to remember anything at all. If you find your mind floating away, if your breathing grows slow and deep, that's perfectly okay.
That's what this space is for.
These words are here to carry you like a soft current. If you fall asleep, you won't miss anything. You'll simply drift along with the universe itself.
So where will we go tonight?
We're going to step into a question so vast, so ancient, and so full of wonder that no human being has ever truly answered it. A question that has lived in the minds of philosophers, poets, scientists, and dreamers for thousands of years. A question that stretches the limits of imagination. Does space ever end? It sounds so simple. We look up at the night sky, and there it is, dude. Space, sprinkled with stars, stretching in every direction. But the more you sit with the question, the more it deepens. If space does end, what lies beyond the edge?
A wall, a barrier?
A blank nothingness? Or something stranger like space folding back on itself, curving in a way our minds can barely grasp? And if space never ends, if it goes on forever, what does that really mean? Could there be endless galaxies, infinite stars, and countless versions of worlds like ours, repeating again and again? Could there be another you lying in another bed listening to these words, drifting into sleep on the far side of an unending cosmos? We don't know the answer. But what we do know is this. In asking the question, we step into one of the greatest mysteries of existence. And tonight, gently, slowly, we'll walk through it together. Take a deep breath.
In and out.
Feel your body settle into whatever holds you. A bed, a couch, a chair. Notice how your weight sinks down as if gravity itself is hugging you, reminding you that you are safe, grounded, held by Earth. And above you, stretching farther than your eyes could ever see, is the sky. Beyond the clouds, beyond the blue, beyond even the faint glow of the atmosphere, is space. It has always been there.
And it will always be there.
Our ancestors looked up at that same sky thousands of years ago. They saw patterns, constellations, gods and heroes written in starlight. They told stories about hunters, bears, queens, dragons. The night sky was a map of myth and meaning. But behind all those stories, there was still the vast mystery. Where does it all end? Tonight you get to ask that same question. But unlike those ancient stargazers, you get to drift into it with all the knowledge humanity has gathered since. Telescopes, satellites, spacecraft, mathematics, and a universe of metaphors to carry you softly toward sleep. Imagine for a moment that you are standing outside on a clear, quiet night. No city lights, no noise, just a dark sky filled with stars. The air is cool. Maybe you feel grass beneath your feet. You tilt your head back and the stars shimmer, thousands of tiny points of light. Each one is a sun, some with planets, some with moons, some with mysteries we will never know.
As you look, the stars seem endless.
But are they?
Could you count them all?
Could you ever reach the place where they stop? That simple wonder is the beginning of our journey. The story of space is not just a story of stars and galaxies. It's also a story of us, of humans daring to imagine what lies beyond the horizon, then building ships, then telescopes, then probes that sail into the dark. Every step we take upward and outward makes the question deeper. Does space end, or is it infinite? So tonight, let this be your lullaby, the gentle unfolding of the cosmos. We'll move slowly, layer by layer, from the familiar to the unknown. From the Earth beneath your feet, to the solar system, to the Milky Way, and then out into realms where light itself has trouble keeping up. Along the way, we'll meet horizons that stretch the imagination, paradoxes that bend the mind, and possibilities that feel like dreams. Remember, you don't need to hold on to each detail. If you drift away, that's part of the journey. Think of it like looking at the ocean. You don't need to remember each wave to feel the sea. You don't need to remember each star to feel the sky. In a moment, we'll begin our slow walk outward, starting right here with our Earth, our island in the dark. But before we do, pause again.
Take another breath.
Notice your chest rising, falling. Notice your body growing heavier.
Notice the edges of the day blurring.
The same way your eyes slowly adjust to the night sky, your mind is adjusting now. Not racing, not chasing, just drifting. Let these words move at their own pace. Let them carry you far.
Because the universe is wide.
And tonight we're going to see just how wide. So let's begin. Imagine for a moment that the weight of your body isn't being held by a mattress or a chair, but by Earth itself, as though the entire planet is a cradle carrying you gently through the dark. Our home is small, though it rarely feels that way when we're caught in the loops of our daily lives. Earth is a sphere of oceans and continents, spinning silently in space. It is about 12,000 kilometers across, a number so large it's hard to picture, and yet in the grand scheme of things it's nothing more than a grain of dust in a cosmic desert. If you held a single grain of sand between your fingertips and then imagined all the grains of sand on every beach and desert of Earth, space holds more stars than that. We live on one grain orbiting one star, in one galaxy among hundreds of billions. When you look up at the night sky, you're not just looking at points of light, you're looking at suns. Some larger than ours, some smaller, some with planets circling them, some alone in the dark. Our own sun feels enormous to us, yet it is an ordinary star, one among countless others. But before we wander that far, let's start with our first neighbor in the sky, the moon. The moon drifts above us, always present in one phase or another. Glowing silver, sometimes thin as a sliver, sometimes full and bright. It is our constant companion, orbiting at a distance of 384,000 kilometers. To us, that number feels unimaginable, but if you could drive a car straight up into the sky, you could reach it in less than 6 months. For astronauts in the Apollo missions, it took only 3 days. The moon is about 1/4 the size of Earth, and though it looks serene, it is a barren world of dust and stone. Still, its pull shapes our tides, its glow has guided travelers for millennia, and its face has been the canvas of myths and stories since humans first gazed upward. Beyond the moon is the sun, our parent star, a blazing sphere of plasma more than 1,000,000 Earths could fit inside it. Its light takes just over 8 minutes to travel the 150 million kilometers to Earth. When you feel warmth on your face on a morning walk, you're feeling photons that left the sun minutes ago, and energy that began as fusion in its core millions of years in the past. Without the sun, Earth would be a silent, frozen rock. With it, life thrives. And yet, in the galaxy, the sun is nothing special. Just one of an estimated 100 billion stars in the Milky Way. Imagine for a moment that every person on Earth were replaced with a star, and even then, the Milky Way would still need more. Our star, our sun, is average, but to us, it is everything. Around the sun, our solar system spreads out like a family of worlds.
Mercury, small and scorched by heat. Venus, wrapped in clouds so thick and toxic that no sunlight escapes. Mars, the red planet, dusty and dry, where humanity dreams of one day walking.
Then the giants. Jupiter, vast and striped, with storms larger than Earth. Saturn, elegant with its luminous rings. Uranus, tilted on its side like a rolling ball. Neptune, blue and distant, slow in its orbit. Each planet spins in its silent path, bound by the sun's gravity. To picture these distances, imagine the sun is the size of a coin at the center of a football field. The Earth would be a tiny grain of rice 25 meters away. Neptune would orbit near the far end zone. And then, past the end zone, past the stadium walls, the field would keep going and going, stretching for miles into the night, with galaxies beyond.
Even with all that space, we humans have tried to step outward.
In 1977, two small spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, were launched. On them, golden records were etched with greetings in dozens of languages, music from Bach to Chuck Berry, the sound of whales singing, the laughter of children. These tiny emissaries carry a message in case someone somewhere finds them. Voyager 1 has now traveled more than 24 billion kilometers, farther than any human-made object. Its signals take over 22 hours to reach us. And still, even after nearly 50 years, it has barely left our solar neighborhood. It has not crossed even a fraction of the distance to the next star. Pause and let that settle. Earth feels vast to us. The Sun feels impossibly large. The solar system itself stretches so far that light takes hours to cross it. And yet, in the galaxy, all of this, Earth, Moon, Sun, planets, Voyagers, is only a speck. So let your mind drift higher. Picture the Earth shrinking to a blue dot, the Moon circling faintly beside it. The Sun glows like a warm ember, the planets orbiting as tiny sparks. Drift farther until the solar system itself looks no bigger than a coin dropped in a black ocean. Around it, stars gleam in every direction, endless, quiet, and cold. This is our place in the cosmos, a grain of sand in a desert of stars. Let your imagination drift even farther now. The solar system is fading behind you, the planets circling quietly, the Sun glowing faintly in the distance. You are floating upward, as if lifted on a soft current. Soon, the stars are all around you. The blackness is vast, and the light of the Sun, which once felt so mighty, is now nothing more than a spark among countless others. All of those tiny points of light you see, every star you've ever glimpsed in the night sky, belongs to a single great family, the Milky Way galaxy. It stretches out like a luminous river in the dark. From Earth, on a clear night far from cities, you can see it arching overhead, a pale band of light, so delicate it almost looks like smoke. But that pale river is made of billions of stars.
Hundreds of billions, and you live inside it.
The Milky Way is vast. From one side to the other, it spans about 100,000 light years. A light year is the distance light travels in a single year, about 9.5 trillion kilometers. That number is impossible to picture, so instead, think of this. If you could ride a beam of light, the fastest traveler in existence, it would still take you 100,000 years to cross our galaxy. Generations would be born, live, and pass away, and the journey would still continue. The galaxy is shaped like a spiral, with long arms curling outward, filled with stars, gas, dust, and clouds where new suns are born. Our solar system sits on one of these arms, the Orion arm, not at the center, not at the edge, but somewhere in between, like a small town on the outskirts of a great city. We orbit the galactic center slowly, taking about 225 million years to make one full trip around. The last time Earth was in this position, dinosaurs walked across its continents. The next time we circle back here, the world will be unimaginably different again. At the heart of the Milky Way lies something both invisible and immense, a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A star. It is 4 million times the mass of the Sun, a gravitational anchor around which the entire galaxy turns. We cannot see it directly, but we can see the stars near it whipping around at incredible speeds, like sparks caught in a whirlpool. This black hole is silent from a distance, but it holds sway over everything, keeping the galaxy together. Between the stars, the galaxy is not empty. Clouds of hydrogen stretch across space, some lit by nearby stars, glowing pink and blue like cosmic lanterns. Others are cold and dark, hiding nurseries where new suns and planets will one day ignite. In some places, clusters of stars shimmer together, bound by gravity. In others, stars drift alone, old and faint. nearing the end of their lives. Imagine floating there, in the Milky Way, looking around. To one side, the Orion Arm, where our sun glimmers faintly. To another side, vast spiral arms curl like ribbons, each sparkling with billions of stars. The scale is beyond comprehension. If Earth were a grain of sand, the Milky Way would be larger than Earth itself, stretching across oceans and continents. You are part of it, and yet it is so vast that our entire history, our entire story, is just a whisper within it. Now let's pause for a moment. Close your eyes if they are not already closed.
Feel the rhythm of your breath, rising, falling, rising, falling.
As steady as the orbit of a planet, as calm as the drift of stars. Let yourself sink a little deeper, as though your body itself is part of the galaxy, resting within its spiral arms. The Milky Way is not alone. Beyond its edges, space stretches farther. Just outside our galaxy lies a small companion, the Andromeda Galaxy, a magnificent spiral larger than ours, drifting closer every day. In about 4 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will collide, merging into a single, larger galaxy. The stars will not crash like cars on a highway. They're too far apart for that. Instead, they will weave together like dancers, their arms intertwining, forming a new cosmic city of light. And still, beyond Andromeda, there are more galaxies.
Dozens, hundreds, thousands.
We live in a neighborhood called the Local Group, about 60 galaxies strong, ranging from giants like Andromeda to tiny dwarfs, faint smudges of light barely holding themselves together.
And even this neighborhood is just a suburb.
Surrounding it is the Virgo supercluster, home to thousands of galaxies, spread across 100 million light-years. Picture that. Thousands of Milky Ways, each with billions of stars, each with the potential for planets, for life, for mysteries. And yet even the Virgo supercluster is not the whole. It is just one thread in a tapestry so large that we call it the cosmic web. Filaments of galaxies stretching like lace across space, separated by dark voids, each void spanning hundreds of millions of light years. Pause again. Let that picture settle in your mind. From Earth to the Moon, to the Sun, to the Solar System, to the Milky Way, to the Local Group, to the supercluster, to the web of galaxies itself. Every time you zoom out, the scale grows so vast that what seemed enormous before now feels like nothing at all. So where does it end? Each time we ask, the answer slips farther away.
Earth felt large until we compared it to the sun. The sun felt large until we saw the galaxy.
The galaxy felt immense until we saw the supercluster. And the supercluster seems grand until we see the web itself. The farther we go, the larger it becomes, and the more distant the edge feels. Now imagine yourself drifting farther still, beyond the filaments of galaxies, beyond the clusters, beyond even the faintest smudges of light our telescopes can detect. Ahead of you is darkness, quiet and deep. But is it truly empty? Or does it go on forever? That is the mystery. That is the question we are here to explore. Drift farther still. The Milky Way has faded behind you now, just one river of stars among countless others. You are moving beyond the Local Group, beyond the Virgo supercluster, past filaments of galaxies that thread across the cosmic web. Each cluster, each shining strand of light, begins to blur together. What once seemed infinite now seems like just the beginning. From this vantage point, you are gazing at something called the observable universe. It is everything we can see, everything light has had time to reach us since the beginning of time itself. Imagine a sphere surrounding you, stretching out in every direction. The radius of that sphere is about 46 billion light-years. That is the farthest edge of what our telescopes can detect, the most distant light that has had time to arrive since the universe began. 46 billion light-years. The number itself hardly matters because the mind cannot hold it. Instead, imagine this. If the universe were a great library, every star would be a book. To read them all, you would need not centuries, not millennia, but longer than the lifetime of Earth itself. You would never finish, and still there would be more shelves waiting. The observable universe contains an estimated 2 trillion galaxies.
Not million, not billion.
2 trillion. Each galaxy with hundreds of billions of stars. Each star with the possibility of planets. Some small, some giant. Some with moons. Some barren, some rich with oceans or storms. 2 trillion galaxies, each like the Milky Way, each like Andromeda, each perhaps holding life, staring back at the sky with the same question you are asking now. Does it end? Light itself is our messenger. Every time you look into a telescope, you are not just looking at stars, you are looking at the past. The moon as it was a second ago, the sun as it was 8 minutes ago, distant stars as they were years ago, galaxies as they were millions of years ago. The farther you look, the farther back in time you go, until at last you reach the edge. The moment of the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the universe as a great theater. The lights are dimmed, the curtain rises, and what you see is not the actors, not the stage, but the faint echo of the very first light still humming in the background. That light has been traveling for nearly 14 billion years. It is stretched thin, cooled to a faint whisper, but it is still here, wrapping around you like a cosmic blanket.
And yet beyond that glow, what lies there?
Our instruments cannot see past it. It is not a wall, not a barrier, but a horizon like the edge of the ocean when you stand on the shore. You know the sea continues past what you can see, but your eyes cannot follow it. The cosmic horizon is the same. The universe may continue, but its light has not yet reached us.
Take another slow breath.
Let your body soften a little more. In this quiet space, imagine you are standing at that cosmic horizon. Behind you, all of the galaxies you have passed. Ahead of you, a darkness so deep that no light has yet escaped it. This is the edge of the observable universe, the farthest we can know by sight. But is it the true edge? That is the question that brings us back to wonder. Because while the observable universe is 46 billion light-years in radius, the universe itself may be far larger. It may extend far beyond our horizon, farther than we can ever see. Some scientists believe it is infinite, stretching on without end.
Others believe it is finite, but without boundaries, like the surface of a sphere, endless in the sense that you could travel forever without finding a wall.
Imagine the Earth. If you walk in one direction long enough, you never find an edge, never fall off. You circle back to where you began. The Earth is finite, but unbounded. Perhaps space itself is the same, curving in ways that are difficult for our minds to grasp. Perhaps if you traveled far enough in a straight line, you would eventually return to where you started, not because space has walls, but because it loops back on itself in a higher dimension. Now imagine a different shape, a torus, a donut. Some models of the universe suggest that space could be shaped like this. Wrap around, looping, finite, but endless. You could travel in circles forever without ever finding an edge. It would feel infinite from the inside, but its total size would be finite. Or perhaps the universe truly is infinite, with no end at all. Picture yourself drifting outward past the horizon and never stopping. Past galaxies, past clusters, past superclusters, and still more appear. No matter how far you go, there are more. If that is true, then somewhere out there, far beyond reach, there may be another Earth, another sun, another you. In an infinite universe, every possible arrangement of atoms must occur, not just once, but infinitely many times. That means somewhere there is another version of you listening to these same words. Somewhere there is another world where history unfolded differently. Somewhere there is another place where everything is the same, except for one small detail. Pause here.
Let that thought settle. You do not have to understand it.
You do not have to hold on to it. Just let it float past like a cloud drifting across the sky. If you find yourself drifting with it, if your eyelids feel heavy, that's okay.
That's part of this journey.
The observable universe is like a bubble, expanding in every direction. Inside it, we see galaxies rushing away from us, faster and faster, carried by the expansion of space itself. The farther a galaxy is, the faster it recedes. Some are moving away so quickly that their light will never reach us. They are already beyond our reach, slipping into darkness, carried away by the swelling of the cosmos.
Imagine standing on a shore, watching ships sail away.
At first, you see their sails, their masts, their outlines. But as they drift farther, the horizon swallows them, and you see them no more. They are still out there, but no longer visible. The universe is the same. Galaxies slip past the horizon, carried by expansion, until they vanish from our view. And still the question lingers, does it end? Each layer we peel back only reveals more mystery. From Earth to the solar system, from the solar system to the galaxy, from the galaxy to the web, from the web to the horizon, and beyond the horizon into speculation itself. Every step leaves us smaller, more humbled, more filled with wonder. The galaxies continue to drift. They are not flying through space like arrows from a bow. Rather, space itself is stretching, carrying them farther apart like raisins in rising bread. This expansion is gentle here in the spaces between stars, but over cosmic distances it becomes unstoppable. The universe itself is swelling, and the farther away something is, the faster it is swept from our sight. For a long time, astronomers believed gravity might one day halt this expansion. They imagined the galaxies as marbles thrown into the air. Perhaps they would slow pause and then fall back, collapsing into a big crunch, the universe ending where it began. But when scientists studied the faint light of distant supernovae, they discovered something astonishing. The expansion is not slowing down.
It is speeding up.
The universe is accelerating as though some unseen hand is pushing galaxies apart, faster and faster. This invisible force has been given a name: dark energy. We do not know what it is, only that it seems to make up nearly 70% of the universe. Imagine for a moment that everything we see, stars, planets, galaxies, is just a tiny slice, less than 5% of reality. The rest is hidden, unseen, filling the void with something we can measure only by its effects. It is like standing in a dark room and feeling the wind move, though you cannot see what stirs it. Dark energy is mysterious, but its effect is clear. In the far future, galaxies will continue to race away. Billions of years from now, distant galaxies will slip beyond the cosmic horizon, leaving only our local group visible. The universe will grow emptier to our eyes, not because it has ended, but because light from beyond will no longer reach us. We will be surrounded by silence, the sky darkening, the cosmos retreating from view. Pause here.
Feel that vastness.
Imagine the night sky, once filled with stars, slowly thinning. Imagine galaxies fading one by one until only the Milky Way and Andromeda remain, merging together in the dark. Imagine the loneliness of that future and the smallness of our moment now, when we can still see so much. But perhaps the universe will not grow lonely forever. Some theories suggest that dark energy might not remain constant. Perhaps it could grow stronger, tearing galaxies apart, then stars, then planets, even atoms themselves. A scenario called the Big Rip. Imagine space stretching so violently that nothing can resist. Even the bonds that hold matter together unravel, until all that remains is a thin mist of particles drifting in endless night. Or perhaps the opposite. Perhaps dark energy might reverse, slowing expansion, pulling galaxies back together, collapsing everything into a final blaze, a big crunch. And in that collapse, perhaps another Big Bang could follow, a cycle repeating forever, expansion and collapse like the breathing of a cosmic lung. We do not know. And maybe that is the most beautiful truth of all, that the universe still holds secrets beyond our grasp, mysteries that keep us humble, questions that remind us how small we are. Consider this: if the universe is infinite, truly infinite, then every possible arrangement of matter must exist. Somewhere, far beyond our horizon, there may be another Earth, another galaxy shaped like ours, another star named Sun, another person lying in another bed, hearing these same words. In infinity, there are endless versions of you, endless possibilities, endless stories. Some the same, some entirely different. In one, perhaps you chose a different path. In another, perhaps you never existed at all. Infinity contains everything because it cannot contain less. It is dizzying to think of, yet at the same time, it is soothing. Because in infinity, nothing is truly lost.
Every pattern repeats.
Every spark flickers again.
Every life, every dream, every breath exists somewhere always.
Pause again. Breathe slowly. Let your mind soften. Let these thoughts drift over you like a tide. You do not need to solve them. You do not need to hold them. Just let them pass, one by one, until they fade into the quiet of your thoughts. Now picture the universe not as an endless flat plane, but as something curved, something higher dimensional. Imagine walking across Earth. From your perspective, the ground feels flat, stretching endlessly in every direction. But we know it curves, looping back on itself. Could space be the same? Perhaps if you traveled in one direction long enough, you would return to where you began, circling a universe that has no edges, no walls, only endless paths. Physicists have imagined many shapes for space. A hypersphere, a torus, even stranger topologies where lines loop in impossible ways. We cannot see these shapes directly, but mathematics whispers their possibilities. It is like listening to the faint notes of a song carried on the wind. You cannot see the instrument, but you know the melody exists. And yet, even if the universe is finite, even if it curves back on itself, from within it would feel infinite. There would be no edge to find, no wall to strike. You would wander forever, never reaching an end. So again, the question arises, does space end? Or is the very idea of end the wrong way to think about it? Perhaps space has no boundary, not because it is infinite, but because it bends in ways our minds cannot easily imagine. Take another breath now. Let it fill your chest, then drift out again, slow and easy. Feel how time itself seems to slow when you pay attention to your breathing. Each inhale, each exhale, like the steady rhythm of waves upon a shore. In the same way, the universe expands and contracts in thought, not hurried, not rushed, but moving in its own rhythm, unbothered by the pace of our small lives. When we ask whether space ends, we are really asking about infinity. Infinity is not just a number.
It is an idea, a feeling, something so large that it cannot be held in the palm of the mind.
Try to picture it. Endless stars, endless galaxies, endless possibilities. The mind resists. It wants to draw a line, to place a boundary. But infinity has no walls. It has no border. It stretches past every attempt to hold it, like sand slipping between your fingers, like water running through your hands. Think of a night when you stood outside looking at the stars. For a moment you felt small, maybe even overwhelmed, but then there was something else too, a calmness, a quiet comfort in realizing that you are part of something so large it cannot be contained. That comfort is infinity whispering to you, reminding you that your life, your worries, your fears are drops in a vast ocean. And the ocean does not end. Mathematics tells us infinity exists in many ways. Numbers stretch without end, one after another, climbing higher and higher. But between any two numbers, there are infinities too, fractions and decimals, endless divisions that never stop.
Infinity within infinity.
So perhaps space is like that, not just endless in size, but layered with endless detail, endless depth. Between galaxies, voids. Between voids, particles. Between particles, quantum fields shimmering endlessly. The deeper you look, the more there is, never stopping. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a hallway with mirrors on both ends. You look forward and see yourself reflected, and behind you another reflection, and between them endless copies stretching forever. That is a small glimpse of what infinity feels like. It is not just far away, it is everywhere. It surrounds you, you are inside it. Some philosophers have wondered if infinity makes life meaningless. If there are endless versions of us, if every choice we make is made differently somewhere else, does that mean nothing matters? But perhaps the opposite is true.
Perhaps infinity makes everything precious.
Because even though there may be another you somewhere else, there is only one here, only one now, only this breath, only this night. The uniqueness of the moment does not vanish in infinity, now it glows brighter. Like a single candle flickering in an endless dark, its flame is no less beautiful because there are others. Infinity also humbles us. If the universe is without end, then our Earth is smaller than we ever imagined. It is not even a grain of sand, not even a drop of water. It is less than that, a whisper in the roar of infinity. And yet, within this whisper, entire lives unfold, entire histories, entire loves and losses.
That is the miracle.
Infinity contains everything, and yet within it we still matter, because we are here, because we can ask the question. Now let your imagination drift.
Picture yourself walking across a vast plain.
No trees, no hills, only soft ground, stretching in every direction. You walk for hours, days, years, and still it never ends. The horizon moves with you, always ahead, never closer.
That is what infinity feels like.
No matter how far you go, there is always more. No matter how much you see, there is always something beyond. And yet, maybe infinity is not about traveling outward, but about looking inward. Within a single human being are infinite thoughts, infinite dreams. The brain contains billions of neurons, each firing in patterns that create memories, images, ideas. No two are the same, no two are repeated. Within you is a universe of your own, infinite in its combinations. So when you wonder whether space ends, you are also wondering whether thought ends, whether imagination ends. And in truth, they do not. As long as you live, as long as you breathe, imagination stretches without boundary. There is also a gentleness in infinity, because if there is no end, then there is no final loss.
Stars die, yes.
Galaxies fade, yes, but somewhere else, new stars are born, new galaxies rise. Life ends, but in infinity, life also begins again, over and over. The wheel turns forever, and in that turning, nothing is ever truly gone. So take another breath. Feel the air enter and leave. Let the thought of infinity expand inside you, not frightening, but calming, like lying in a field and knowing the sky has no ceiling. The sky just keeps going. In stories, infinity is often described as terrifying. People imagine falling endlessly or being lost in an endless maze. But when you let yourself rest in it, when you surrender to it, infinity becomes something else. It becomes a lullaby, a reassurance that you are safe in something far larger than yourself, that you do not need to struggle to understand it, only to rest within it, like a child carried in the arms of a parent. Look again in your mind's eye at the Milky Way, at the local group, at the superclusters, at the cosmic web. Now imagine zooming out farther, so far that all of it, all 2 trillion galaxies of the observable universe, shrink to a single speck. And beyond that speck, more specks, and beyond them, more and more and more, until there is no edge, only endlessness. It is not a frightening thought if you let it carry you. It is soothing, because it means you are always part of something, always surrounded, never alone. And here is the paradox. Infinity is so vast it contains everything, yet you can experience it in the simplest of moments, in the silence between breaths, in the stillness of night, in the endless loop of your thoughts as they wander and return. Infinity is outside you, yes, but it is also within you. You are not just living in the universe is living within you. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice the way time seems to slow when you pay attention to your breathing. One inhale, one exhale, and already the moment that held it has passed. Time is like that, always moving, always flowing, never still. We live inside it, but rarely do we notice its motion. And yet time is as much a part of the universe as space itself. Together they form the fabric of reality, space-time. Imagine the universe as a great sheet, stretching endlessly. Space is the surface, and time is the thread woven through it. You cannot pull one without tugging on the other. Every step you take forward in space is also a step forward in time. You cannot separate them. They are joined, intertwined, inseparable.
Einstein showed us this truth.
He told us that space and time bend together, curving around stars and planets, warping under the weight of matter. Imagine placing a heavy ball on a trampoline. The fabric dips and smaller balls roll toward it. Gravity is not an invisible force pulling objects together. It is the shape of space-time itself, curving and guiding their motion. And because time is part of that fabric, it bends too. This means time is not the same everywhere. A clock on a mountain ticks faster than a clock at sea level. A clock near a black hole ticks slower than a clock far away. Time is flexible, elastic, shaped by the curves of space. Imagine two twins. One stays on Earth, the other travels near the speed of light. When they reunite, the traveling twin will be younger, having experienced less time. This is not science fiction. It is reality confirmed by experiment. Pause and let that sink in. Time is not a river that flows the same for everyone. It is a river that bends and twists, running faster in some places, slower in others. We think of the universe as vast in space, but it is just as vast in time. 13.8 billion years have passed since the Big Bang, but compared to eternity, it is only the opening note of a song that has no end. Now, imagine this. If space might be infinite, what about time? Does time stretch endlessly into the future? Or does it loop, folding back upon itself like a circle? If you could travel far enough into tomorrow, would you eventually return to today? Think of a clock face.
Its hands move forward, around and around, yet always they return.
What if time itself is like that? Not a straight arrow, but a loop, eternal, without beginning or end. Every moment repeating, every story playing out again and again across eons. Or perhaps time is not a loop, but a tree. Each choice you make, each path the universe takes, splitting into branches, spreading wider and wider. This is the idea of the multiverse. Every possibility exists somewhere.
In one universe, you chose this. In another, you chose that.
In one, Earth exists. In another, it never formed. In one, humanity thrives. In another, it never arose.
Picture yourself standing in a forest of infinite trees. Each tree is a universe.
Each branch is a timeline. Each leaf is a moment. And you are standing among them, one leaf among endless leaves, one story among endless stories. From your view, the leaf is unique, precious. From the view of the forest, it is part of a tapestry that has no end. The multiverse is not just theory. Some scientists believe it arises naturally from inflation, the rapid expansion that occurred after the Big Bang. Imagine the universe as a bubble, inflating. But bubbles rarely form alone. They form in clusters frothing together. Each bubble a universe expanding on its own, separate but connected. If that is true, then our universe is one bubble in an infinite foam, drifting alongside others we will never see. Pause again, breathe. Imagine floating in that foam, countless bubbles around you, some tiny, some vast, each glowing faintly with its own galaxies, its own stars, its own laws of physics. Perhaps in one, gravity is stronger. In another, weaker. In one, life cannot exist. In another, life flourishes in ways we cannot imagine. And here is the wonder. In a multiverse of infinite possibilities, somewhere there may be a universe where your life unfolded differently. Somewhere you chose another path. Somewhere you spoke different words, loved different people, dreamed different dreams. And yet no matter how many versions there are, only one is here now.
Only one is breathing this breath. Only one is listening to these words. That is what makes this moment precious.
Time itself becomes different in this view. Perhaps it does not end. Perhaps it cannot end. If there are infinite universes, infinite timelines, then somewhere always there is a version of you living, breathing, being. Death itself becomes only a transition, a closing of one story, while another begins elsewhere. Infinity means there is no final curtain, only endless variations, endless performances, endless stages. And yet, with all this vastness, all this infinity, here you are. Small, yes, but not meaningless. Because meaning is not measured by size. Meaning is felt in experience, in presence, in awareness.
A single heartbeat in an infinite universe is still a miracle.
A single spark of consciousness asking whether space ends is still extraordinary. So let yourself rest in that thought. You are infinite because you are part of infinity. You are timeless because you are part of time. You are not outside the universe, not separate from it, but made of it, woven from its same fabric. The atoms in your body were born in stars. The breath in your lungs was shaped by the fusion of suns. You are not in the cosmos. You are the cosmos, awake and aware of itself. And if the universe truly never ends, then neither does wonder.
Wonder is infinite.
Curiosity is infinite. Every question answered gives rise to another. Every horizon reached reveals another beyond. You will never exhaust it. You will never reach the end of wonder. So close your eyes now if they are not already closed. Let your breath be slow, steady, gentle. Let your thoughts float like leaves on water. Let the vastness cradle you, the infinity embrace you. There is no need to understand everything. There is no need to hold everything. You are safe here, within the endless. Take another breath, in and out, slow, gentle. Notice how each breath rises and falls like a tiny cycle of creation and release. The universe is built on cycles too, beginnings, middles, and ends that are never truly ends, only transformations into something new. Stars are the heartbeat of the cosmos. They are born, they live, they die, and in their deaths, they give life to everything else. Look up at the night sky in your mind. Every point of light is a star in some stage of its journey. Some are young, just igniting. Some are steady, burning through their long middle age. Others are nearing their end, swelling, dimming, preparing to transform. Each one tells a story that has been repeating for billions of years, long before Earth existed and long after we are gone. Imagine a star being born. In the quiet of a molecular cloud, dust and gas gather together, pulled by gravity. Slowly, silently, the cloud collapses tighter and tighter until pressure and heat at its center spark fusion. Hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, releasing light, releasing warmth.
A star is born.
A small sun ignites in the dark. From the outside, it looks simple, just another point of light. But inside, it is a furnace, a crucible, where the building blocks of life are forged. Our own sun is in this long middle stage. Steady, reliable, burning quietly for billions of years. It is ordinary among stars, and yet it is everything to us. Without it, no warmth, no oceans, no breath, no life. Every tree that grows, every bird that flies, every person who lives, all are nourished by the sun. It is our star, and though it seems eternal, even it has a life cycle. Billions of years from now, the sun will swell into a red giant, expanding so large it may swallow Mercury, Venus, and perhaps Earth itself.
Its heat will boil the oceans, strip the atmosphere, turn our world to stone.
And then, when its fuel runs out, it will collapse, shedding its outer layers in a shimmering cloud, a planetary nebula glowing faintly in space. At its heart, a white dwarf will remain, small, hot, dense, slowly cooling for trillions of years. The sun's story will end not in fire, but in quiet.
Other stars end more violently.
Imagine a star far larger than our sun. It burns hotter, brighter, faster. Its life is short, only millions of years instead of billions. When its fuel runs out, gravity wins. The core collapses, the outer layers explode outward in a supernova brighter than a galaxy. For a few weeks, the night sky would blaze with its light, turning darkness to day. In that explosion, elements are forged: iron, gold, uranium, the heavy atoms that cannot form in ordinary fusion. These atoms scatter into space, seeding new stars, new planets, new life. Every atom of iron in your blood, every atom of calcium in your bones, every atom of gold in a wedding ring was born in the heart of a star that died long ago. You are made of stardust, literally. The universe is not just around you, it is within you. And sometimes, when a massive star dies, the collapse does not stop. The core falls inward until nothing can resist. A black hole is born. Invisible, dense beyond comprehension, its gravity so strong that not even light can escape. From the outside, it looks like a void, a hole in space. But in truth, it is a place where the fabric of space-time itself has bent so steeply that it folds in upon itself. Time slows near a black hole. From a distance, you would see objects falling in more and more slowly, never quite crossing the horizon. But from the inside, the fall is unstoppable, swift, complete. Pause here.
Imagine that.
A place where time itself bends, where the known laws of physics break. Black holes are not just objects. They are questions, mysteries carved into the cosmos. Do they end, or do they connect to somewhere else? Another place, another time, another universe. Some scientists wonder whether every black hole might be the seed of a new universe, budding off from ours, hidden beyond the horizon we cannot see. Around black holes, strange things happen. Gas spirals inward, heating to millions of degrees, glowing in X-rays. Stars can be torn apart, stretched like taffy, in an event called spaghettification. And yet black holes also create order. Their gravity helps shape galaxies, anchoring them, stirring them, guiding the dance of stars.
Even in their darkness, they are part of the balance.
Now think of the galaxy again. Billions of stars, each in its own cycle of birth, life, death. Some quietly fading into dwarfs, some exploding into supernovae, some collapsing into black holes, and all of them contributing to the story of matter, the story of existence. The cycle never ends. Death becomes birth. Collapse becomes creation.
Nothing is lost, only transformed.
The same may be true of the universe itself. Scientists wonder, will the cosmos continue expanding forever, growing colder, emptier, until all stars fade, all galaxies drift apart, all energy spreads too thin to sustain anything? A heat death where nothing new ever happens, where time itself seems meaningless. Or will expansion slow, reverse, collapse everything back together in a big crunch? Or perhaps a big rip, where dark energy tears even atoms apart. And perhaps there are stranger fates still, a cosmic bounce where every collapse births a new expansion, a chain of universes each born from the ashes of the last.
Or an eternal inflation where bubbles of universes keep forming endlessly, each with its own laws, its own galaxies, its own infinities.
No matter the fate, the story is long.
Longer than we can imagine.
Stars live for billions of years. Black holes evaporate over trillions. The universe may last for times so vast they make the age of Earth seem like a single heartbeat. And yet here you are in this moment, breathing, wondering, existing in the middle of it all. Pause once more. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the weight of your body, the softness of rest. The universe is vast, endless, mysterious, but it is also gentle. Cradles you, holds you, carries you through time, through space, through infinity. You do not need to grasp all of it. You only need to let it wash over you like waves upon a shore, like stars upon the sky. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Feel how easy it is to lose track of time when you breathe like this. A moment stretches, becomes long, becomes timeless. That is how the universe moves, in scales of time that stretch so far they dissolve our sense of minutes, hours, even years. When we think of the future of the cosmos, we are not thinking in centuries or millennia. We are thinking in billions, in trillions, in numbers so large that words themselves begin to fail. The stars we see now will not always be there. One by one, they will exhaust their fuel. Some will fade quietly into white dwarfs, glowing embers in the dark. Others will explode in brilliant supernovae, scattering their light across the galaxy, leaving behind neutron stars or black holes. For billions of years, this cycle will continue, stars being born, living, dying, creating new stars. But slowly, inevitably, the gas that fuels starbirth will be used up. Galaxies will grow dimmer, fewer stars will form. The night sky will thin. Pause here. Imagine yourself lying beneath the stars, but the stars are fewer now. The sky is still vast, but the lights are more scattered. Whole regions of the heavens are empty where once they were crowded. The galaxy grows quiet. The music of creation softens, and still time moves on. White dwarfs cool, their glow fading, becoming black dwarfs, cold remnants of stars long gone. Black holes drift silently, swallowing what they encounter, but giving off nothing. The galaxy becomes a cemetery of remnants, echoes of what once was bright and alive. But even black holes do not last forever. Stephen Hawking showed us that black holes are not perfectly black. They leak energy slowly through a process called Hawking radiation. Over unimaginable spans of time, black holes will shrink, evaporate, fade into nothing. The largest of them, billions of times the mass of the Sun, may take longer than the current age of the universe raised to the 100th power. Numbers so large they cannot fit into our minds. And yet, given eternity, even black holes will end.
Picture that.
A universe once filled with stars, then with remnants, then with only black holes, and then even they are gone. What remains is a thin mist of particles, photons stretched so far by expansion that their energy is almost nothing. A quiet, cold, dark universe where nothing stirs, nothing changes.
A heat death where everything is uniform, empty, still.
Pause again, breathe, let yourself rest in that quiet image. A universe that does not end suddenly but fades gently, like the last ember of a fire cooling to ash. Not with a bang, but with silence. But perhaps the story does not end there. Some theories suggest that even in this emptiness, quantum fluctuations might spark new beginnings. Tiny bubbles of space-time could form, inflating into new universes, each with its own Big Bang, its own galaxies, its own stars. The death of one universe might be the birth of another, a cycle repeating without end. The cosmos as an eternal forest, with universes sprouting like trees, each growing, dying, and giving rise to new growth. Or perhaps our universe itself will cycle. Expansion might reverse, leading to a collapse, a big crunch, a rebirth in fire. Or expansion might continue forever, but along the way, strange new physics could emerge. Space itself might transform, time itself might bend, the very constants of nature might shift into something else. The end might not be an end at all, but a doorway into something we cannot yet imagine. Take another breath. Notice how even these thoughts feel vast, too vast to hold. That is all right. You do not need to hold them. You only need to drift with them like a leaf on a current, carried where it will go. Now imagine time itself, not just space. We are used to thinking of time as a line, past, present, future, always moving forward. But what if time is not a line? What if time is a landscape with all moments existing at once? Past, present, and future, all there like pages of a book. From our perspective, we read one page after another, but from the outside, the whole story exists already. If that is true, then the end of the universe is not an event we are waiting for. It is already there, already written, already part of the fabric. And so is every beginning, every middle, every moment you are living now. Some physicists even suggest that time may not be fundamental, that beneath it lies something else, some deeper structure of reality, where time as we know it dissolves. If that is true, then asking where the space ends is like asking whether the horizon ends. The horizon is not a thing, it is a perspective.
Time may be the same.
Space may be the same.
Infinity may not be about endlessness, but about perspective itself.
Pause once more. Breathe in, breathe out. Let that thought expand quietly. You do not need to solve it. You only need to rest with it, letting its edges blur, letting it soften. And think now of yourself. You are made of atoms born in stars. You are alive in a universe that may last trillions upon trillions of years. You are here for only a blink, only a heartbeat of cosmic time. And yet in this blink, you are conscious, you are aware, you are capable of asking these questions.
That is extraordinary.
Out of endless silence, you are a note of music. Out of endless dark, you are a spark of light. Out of infinite space, you are a moment of awareness. And maybe that is the answer.
Maybe the universe does not end because it does not need to.
Its purpose is not to be measured in walls or boundaries, but in moments like this. Moments of awareness, of wonder, of quiet. You are part of it, and it is part of you. There is no edge between you and the cosmos. There never was.
Take another long breath in and out.
Notice how, even in silence, something is always there. The air around you, the warmth of your body, the faint hum of existence itself. Even when it feels like nothing, it is never truly nothing. And the universe is the same. We imagine space as empty, a vacuum, a void. But physics tells us that even in the emptiest place we can imagine, something is always moving, always whispering, always alive. Quantum theory reveals that what we call empty space is not empty at all. It is a restless sea filled with fluctuations, with particles appearing and disappearing, with energy rising and fading. Imagine an ocean on a perfectly still night. From far away it looks calm, flat, silent. But if you drift closer, if you look at the surface, you see ripples, small waves, vibrations that never truly stop.
Space is like that.
Even in the deepest vacuum, the fabric of reality trembles with possibility. These fluctuations may be the seeds of everything. Scientists believe that in the earliest moments of the universe, quantum fluctuations were stretched across cosmic scales by inflation, creating the patterns that became galaxies, stars, and eventually you. Imagine that, every cluster of galaxies, every spiral of stars, every planet, every tree, every breath, born from tiny shivers in the quantum foam of the newborn cosmos.
Out of nothing, everything.
Out of silence, a symphony. Pause here. Let that image settle.
A universe built on whispers.
A universe born from tremors so small we cannot see them, yet so powerful they grew into the galaxies we now gaze upon.
And what about now? Even today, that vacuum energy surrounds us.
It fills the universe. Some physicists think it is what we call dark energy, a strange force causing space to expand faster and faster. If that is true, then the acceleration of the universe, the endless stretching of galaxies away from one another, is not driven by emptiness, but by the restless energy of the vacuum itself. Imagine standing in a vast hall and all around you, invisible vibrations press gently, pushing everything apart. You cannot see them, but you feel the effect as the walls drift farther and farther away.
That is what dark energy does.
It is not a force pulling from outside, but a pressure from within, woven into the very fabric of space. Now think of the quantum foam at the smallest scales. If you could shrink yourself down smaller than atoms, smaller than protons, smaller than even the tiniest known particles, you would not find silence. You would find a froth, a bubbling of space-time itself, twisting, bending, snapping, reconnecting. The universe is restless, even in its smallest spaces.
It never sleeps. It never stops.
And some theories suggest that from this foam, new universes might be born. Tiny bubbles inflating into whole new realities, drifting away from ours. Imagine a pot of boiling water, bubbles forming on the surface, each rising and bursting. Now imagine those bubbles do not burst, but expand endlessly, each becoming a universe of its own. That may be what reality is, an eternal froth of universes. Ours only one among countless others. Pause again, breathe, feel the air moving in and out. Each breath a fluctuation, a small wave of life. The universe itself breathes too, in expansions and contractions, in births and deaths, in cycles of creation. Perhaps there was never truly a beginning. Perhaps there will never truly be an end.
Only change, only transformation, only the rhythm of infinity.
And if space is filled with this vacuum energy, then even nothing has weight, even nothing has power. Imagine an artist's canvas. To us, the canvas is empty until paint touches it. But to the artist, even the blankness holds possibility, potential, waiting to be shaped. The vacuum is like that. Looks empty, but it holds the potential of everything. It is not absence, but presence in disguise. Now let your mind drift to another possibility. If space itself trembles with energy, then perhaps our reality is only one layer of many. Some physicists suggest that our universe could be a brain, a sheet floating in a higher dimensional space, alongside other sheets we cannot see. Perhaps universes drift close, collide, and spark new beginnings. Perhaps the Big Bang itself was such a collision, a ripple where two brains touched, releasing energy that became everything we know. The image is strange, but comforting too, because it means our universe is not alone. It means the story continues, not just here, but in countless places, countless forms. Reality is wider than we can ever imagine, deeper than we can ever see. And here, again, we arrive at the question, does it end? The vacuum does not end. The fluctuations do not end.
Even silence is not truly silent.
The fabric of existence always moves, always hums, always whispers. The end may not be nothingness, because even nothingness is alive. Pause once more. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your body feel heavy, let your thoughts drift. You are resting now, not just on Earth, not just in space, but in the very fabric of the cosmos. A fabric that is restless, alive, infinite. You are part of its hum, part of its song, part of its endless mystery.
Take another slow breath in and let it out.
Notice how quiet the room feels. Even in silence, you know there is more happening than you can hear.
Air moving.
Blood flowing, the tiny hum of electricity behind the walls. You cannot see these things, but you know they are there, shaping your world in ways you rarely think about. The universe is like that too. We look into the night sky and see stars, galaxies, glowing clouds of gas. But what we see is only a fraction of what exists. Astronomers have discovered that most of the cosmos is invisible. The galaxies we admire, the shining stars we count, the glowing spirals we photograph, make up less than 5% of the total. The rest, with the vast majority, is hidden. One of these hidden components is called dark matter. We cannot see it, cannot touch it, cannot hold it in our hands. It does not glow, it does not shine, it does not reflect light. And yet we know it is there, because without it, galaxies would fall apart. Imagine a merry-go-round. Children cling to the edges as it spins. The faster it spins, the harder they must hold on. If the spin is too fast, they fly off. Now imagine a galaxy, billions of stars spinning around a center. By all calculations, the stars at the edge should be flung away, scattered into the dark. But they are not. They hold together, circling steadily. Something invisible must be holding them, an unseen mass providing the gravity to keep them bound. That something is dark matter. Pause here. Picture it. Galaxies are not just luminous pinwheels of light. They are halos, spheres of invisible matter wrapping them, cradling them, keeping them whole. Every galaxy you see in the night sky is not just what meets the eye. It is built on an invisible skeleton, an unseen scaffolding of dark matter. Without it, there would be no galaxies, no stars, no planets, no Earth, no you. Dark matter makes up about 27% of the universe. That is more than 5 times as much as all visible matter combined. Imagine a banquet table. On the plates is visible food, bread, fruit, wine.
That is the stars, the planets, the galaxies we can see.
But beneath the table, filling the room, is an invisible feast far larger than the plates suggest. That is dark matter. It is the unseen majority shaping everything silently.
And yet, we do not know what it is.
It passes through us every moment, ghostly, intangible. Entire galaxies are built upon it, but its nature is still a mystery. Some think it is made of exotic particles we have not yet discovered. Others think it may be a sign that our understanding of gravity itself is incomplete. But whatever it is, it does not end where light ends. It stretches farther, wider, deeper, invisible but essential. Pause again, breathe. Imagine the Milky Way not just as the river of stars you see on a clear night, but as a glowing spiral wrapped in an invisible cocoon. Picture yourself drifting through it, stars glittering, gas clouds glowing, and all around you, unseen but present, the halo of dark matter, silent, protective, endless.
And dark matter is not the only hidden presence.
Dark energy too fills the universe. If dark matter holds galaxies together, dark energy pushes them apart. One binds, one expands, two invisible forces shaping the fate of everything. Between them, they make up 95% of all reality. What we see, the stars, the galaxies, the atoms of your body, are the smallest fraction. The visible is only a whisper of the whole. Think of that. When you look at the sky, you are not seeing the universe. You are seeing its surface, its glow, its decoration. The true bulk of existence is invisible, unreachable by eyes, detectable only through its effects. You are living in a hidden universe, swimming through oceans you cannot see. This, too, is part of the question. Does space end? How can we speak of ends when 95% of space is unseen? When the vast majority of reality is hidden from us, perhaps the universe does not end because what we call ending is only the fading of what we can see. The hidden parts, the invisible structure, may continue forever, beyond our reach, beyond our knowing. Pause once more. Let your breath slow. Imagine lying in the dark, eyes closed. You cannot see the room, but you know it surrounds you. You cannot see the air, but you feel it fill your lungs. You cannot see your heartbeat, but you sense its rhythm. In the same way, the universe surrounds you with its unseen matter and unseen energy, holding you in a vast embrace. You do not need to see it to be part of it. You already are. Take another slow breath, in and out. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw loosen. Feel the gentle weight of your body resting where it is. Now imagine the night sky above you. Every star you see is speaking. Not with sound, not with words, but with light.
Light is the language of the universe.
It carries stories across billions of years, across impossible distances. And when you lift your eyes to the sky, you are reading a book that has been open since time began.
Light is fast, the fastest thing we know, but even it takes time to travel.
The light from the moon left it a second ago. The light from the sun left it 8 minutes ago. When you look at the nearest stars, you see them as they were years in the past. And when you look deeper, to galaxies millions of light years away, you are looking into history.
Every star is a memory.
Every galaxy is a photograph taken long ago. Pause here, let that sink in. The sky you see is not the present. It is the past written in light. You are surrounded by messages from across time, each photon a messenger carrying the story of where it has been. Now imagine the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang. It is everywhere, surrounding us, filling space with a soft whisper. This light has been traveling for nearly 14 billion years, stretched and cooled, until it is no longer visible to the eye, but detectable with instruments. It is the oldest light we can see, the universe's first memory, still shimmering quietly in the dark.
Think of it as a lullaby,
a soft hum left over from creation, echoing even now. When scientists measure it, they are listening to the universe as a child, still glowing from birth. Every wrinkle, every fluctuation in that light is a clue, a hint about what came next. The galaxies, the stars, the planets, us. And beyond that background, beyond that horizon of light, lies the unknown. We cannot see past it, because light has not had time to reach us. But that does not mean nothing is there.
It is like standing on the shore of an ocean at night.
The waves fade into darkness, but you know the sea continues. Light defines what we can see, but not what exists.
Pause again.
Breathe in, breathe out. Feel how each breath is like light, carrying information, carrying presence. You inhale the air, and in it are atoms once carried in stars, once carried in ancient forests, once part of other lives. You are breathing history, just as you are seeing history when you look at the sky. Light also bends. Around massive objects, around galaxies, even around black holes, light curves like a stream flowing around a stone. This bending, called gravitational lensing, lets us see things otherwise hidden. A galaxy far behind another may be magnified and stretched into arcs of light, like reflections in curved glass. In this way, it shows us what is far beyond, using the universe itself as a lens.
Imagine walking through a hall of mirrors.
Each reflection shows a different angle, a different version of what lies ahead. That is how light behaves in the cosmos. The path it takes is not always straight. It weaves, it bends, it arcs, and in those arcs we glimpse things farther away than we could otherwise know. And light does not only travel, it speaks in color, in wavelength, in energy. A star's light reveals its temperature, its age, its composition. A galaxy's light reveals its distance, its motion, its story. Astronomers decode these messages like linguists, reading the universe one photon at a time. What to the eye is a glow, to the mind is a library. Pause once more. Let yourself feel the comfort of that thought. Every star you see is not just shining. It is telling you who it is, where it has been, and what it is becoming.
Light is its autobiography, written in beams across the dark.
And think now of your own light. Your body glows faintly in infrared, warmth radiating outward. You too are writing your story in light, however faint. You are part of the same language, the same song. From the hum of the background to the blaze of galaxies to the warmth of your skin, all is light, all is story. So when we ask, does space end? Perhaps we are also asking, does light end? The answer, like the universe, is layered. Light fades, yes. Photons stretch, yes. But the story does not stop.
Even at the edges of visibility, the language continues, whispered in wavelengths too faint for eyes, but still there, still moving, still carrying.
Close your eyes now if they are not already closed. Picture yourself surrounded by this endless flow of light, some of it young, some of it older than the earth itself. Let it wash over you, not as brightness, but as presence. Gentle, endless, reassuring. You are part of this conversation. You always have been. Take another slow breath in and let it out. Notice how time itself feels different when you pay attention like this. A moment stretches, becomes longer, becomes more spacious. A single inhale can feel like an entire minute if you let it.
That is the strange thing about time.
We live inside it, but we do not always experience it the same way. Sometimes hours vanish in what feels like a blink. Sometimes a single second lingers like an eternity. Physicists tell us that time is not absolute. It bends and stretches just like space. Near massive objects, time slows. Near black holes, time nearly stops. Imagine an astronaut hovering near a black hole. For them, a few minutes might pass. For us, watching from far away, centuries might flow. Both experiences are real.
Both are true.
Time is not one steady clock, ticking the same everywhere. It is elastic, woven into the fabric of the universe. Now imagine stepping back, far back, to see all of time at once. Past, present, and future, not as a line, but as a landscape.
Every moment a place.
Every instant a coordinate. Some physicists call this the block universe, a view where all of time already exists, already written like pages in a book. You are on one page now. Tomorrow is another page. Yesterday is another. You can only read one at a time, but the book itself is whole, complete, timeless. Pause here. That thought soften. Imagine your life as a story already written, each chapter present, each line unchanging. You feel yourself moving forward, but perhaps you are simply turning pages. The end of time, then, is not a disappearance. It is only the last page of one book, resting forever on the shelf of eternity. And yet, other thinkers imagine time not as a book, but as a river.
Flowing, always moving, never still.
In this view, time is born at the Big Bang, streams through the present, and pours into the future. If that is true, then asking whether time ends is like asking whether a river ends. It may join another river. It may vanish into the sea. It may seep underground and emerge elsewhere. The river itself never truly stops. It changes shape, changes course, but its essence continues, which is true. A block of time, eternal and still?
Or a river of time, flowing and endless?
We do not know, and perhaps we never will. But both images help us rest in the mystery, because whether time is already written or forever flowing, we are part of it. We are carried by it.
We belong within it. Pause again.
Take a breath. Let your mind drift. Imagine time not as something outside you, but as something inside you. Your heart beats, your breath rises and falls, your thoughts come and go. These are clocks too, measuring your moments. You are not separate from time.
You are time.
You are its movement, its rhythm, its song. But will time itself end? Some scientists believe the universe may stretch on so long that time loses all meaning. In the heat death scenario, when every star has faded, when every black hole has evaporated, when every atom has decayed, there will be no change, no motion, nothing new. Time, as we understand it, requires change, a before and an after. In a universe of stillness, time itself may dissolve, like a wave fading into a flat sea.
Others imagine cycles.
Time expanding, contracting, reborn again and again.
An eternal heartbeat.
A breath in, a breath out. No final end, only a rhythm that continues beyond our comprehension. In this view, time has no ultimate boundary. It always was and always will be.
And there is another possibility.
Perhaps time is not fundamental at all. Perhaps beneath it lies something deeper. A reality where time is an illusion, a tool our minds use to make sense of change. If that is true, then the end of time is like the end of a dream. You wake and discover that what felt endless was only a layer of something greater. Pause once more. Imagine yourself drifting at the edge of time. Behind you, the story of your life. Ahead of you, the story of the universe. Around you, the fabric of space, humming with quiet energy.
If time ends, you are still part of the fabric.
If time continues, you are carried with it.
Either way, you do not fall out of the universe.
You remain within its embrace, safe, part of the whole. And perhaps that is the answer. Space may not end.
Time may not end.
Or they may both end in ways we cannot imagine. But you do not need to fear that.
Because endings are not absence.
Endings are transformations. Stars end, and their ashes form planets. Galaxies collide, and new stars are born. Lives end, and new lives begin. Time itself may end, but from its silence something new may rise. So breathe again.
Let your breath be your anchor. Inhale, exhale.
The present moment is enough. Whether time stretches forever or closes like a book, you are here now. That is real. That is precious. That is timeless. Take another slow breath in and let it drift out. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. In this moment you are alive, and that is no small thing. You are part of the universe asking its own question. Does space end? You are the cosmos looking at itself, wondering, dreaming, searching. The atoms that make up your body were born in stars. Every bit of iron in your blood, every bit of calcium in your bones, every bit of oxygen in your lungs, all were forged in the heart of a sun that lived and died billions of years ago. You are not separate from the stars. You are their continuation. You are their story written in a new form. When you breathe starlight. When you move with the energy of ancient suns. Pause here.
Let that settle.
You are not small. You are not separate. You are the universe remembering itself. And think of how brief and how precious this awareness is. The universe may last for trillions upon trillions of years, but your life is measured in decades. To some that feels small, but small does not mean meaningless.
A single candle can light a vast room.
A single note can change a symphony. A single life in all of time is still infinite in its own way because it contains experience, thought, love. When you look at the sky, you are participating in something as old as humanity itself. People have always looked upward, wondering what lies beyond. Ancient stories told of gods, of animals, of spirits placed in the stars. Philosophers wondered about infinity. Scientists built telescopes, measured distances, traced light back through time. And you here now are part of that same thread. The same wondering, the same curiosity, the same awe. Pause again, breathe, feel yourself as one link in a chain that stretches across generations, across centuries, across millennia. You are not alone in your wondering. Countless others have asked the same question. Does space end? And countless others will ask after you.
Even your body is a thread in this tapestry.
The carbon in you cycles through the earth, through plants, through animals, through air. When you exhale, your breath becomes part of the world again. When you move, you exchange energy with everything around you. You are not separate from the flow.
You are the flow, and think of your mind.
The thoughts you hold, the dreams you imagine, they too are part of the universe. Neurons fire, signals travel, patterns form. In those patterns are love, hope, memory. In those patterns are the questions of infinity. You are not just made of stardust. You are made of awareness. The stars burn, but they do not know they burn. You do. You are the part of the universe that knows. Pause once more. Let that truth cradle you. You are awareness in a cosmos of silence. You are a spark of consciousness in an ocean of matter. That is rare. That is precious. That is worth resting in. So when we wonder about the end of space, we are also wondering about ourselves. Do we end? Are we finite?
Are we infinite in some way too?
The answer may be the same as the universe's answer. Endings are never truly endings. They are transformations. Just as stars end and become the seeds of new stars, so too do we end and become part of something larger. You may not know what that is. You do not need to. It is enough to know you are part of the cycle. Take another breath. Imagine yourself lying under the night sky. The stars above countless, endless. The earth beneath steady, holding you. The air around, filling your lungs. You are not separate from any of it. You are part of the stars, part of the earth, part of the air, part of the question, part of the answer.
And maybe that is what infinity means. Not something distant, unreachable, abstract.
But something intimate.
Something close.
Something within you. Infinity is not only out there in galaxies and cosmic webs. Infinity is here, in the breath you take, in the thoughts you hold, in the love you feel. You are infinite because you are part of infinity. You always were. You always will be. Pause one more time. Let yourself rest in that comfort. The universe does not need to end for you to belong. You belong now. You belong always.
Take another slow breath, in and out.
Notice how even something simple, like the floor beneath you, has shape. It may feel flat beneath your feet, but you know the earth curves. The horizon is proof of it. Something can feel flat nearby, but be curved on larger scales. The universe is like that too.
Its shape may not be what it first appears.
Physicists tell us that space itself can have geometry. It can be flat, like an endless plane stretching forever. It can be closed, like the surface of a sphere looping back on itself. Or it can be open, like a saddle curving outward forever. Each possibility carries a different answer to our question: does space end? If the universe is flat, then space stretches without limit. Imagine a sheet of paper extending endlessly.
No walls, no curves, no edges.
If you walked in a straight line, you would never stop. You would never return. Space would be infinite, boundless, eternal. If the universe is closed, then space is like the surface of the earth. Finite, but without edges. Imagine being a two-dimensional creature walking across a globe. You could wander forever, never finding a wall, never falling off, yet one day you would return to where you started. A closed universe feels infinite from within, but it is not truly endless. And if the universe is open like a saddle, then space expands outward in all directions, curving away, never repeating, never looping. It is infinite too, but in a different way, not looping, but stretching. Pause here. Let your mind play with these shapes.
Flat like a sheet.
Curved like a sphere.
Open like a saddle.
All three are possible. All three are real geometries. And we do not yet know which is true for our universe. Cosmologists measure the light of the early universe to guess at its shape. The cosmic microwave background acts like a map. So far, the evidence suggests space is flat or nearly flat. That means infinite, or so close to infinite that we cannot tell the difference. But we cannot be certain. Even a tiny curve, stretched across billions of light years, could change everything. Imagine walking across a vast plain. For days, weeks, months, it feels flat. But only after circling the world do you discover its curve. The universe may be the same. It may feel flat now, but over unimaginable distances it may bend, it may loop, it may close upon itself. Pause again, breathe, let that thought drift in. You may never know for certain which geometry is real, but all three tell us something comforting. None of them have a sharp edge.
None of them end with a wall or a cliff.
Whether flat, closed, or open, the universe has no boundary you can fall from. Some physicists imagine the universe as a balloon. Imagine tiny ants crawling across its surface.
To them, the balloon is everything.
They cannot see outside.
They only know the surface.
If they keep walking, they never find an edge. They may meet where they began, but they never fall away. That is what a closed universe feels like. Now imagine the balloon being inflated. The ants feel space itself stretching, their distances growing.
That is what our universe is doing now.
Expanding, stretching, carrying galaxies apart. And the ants, like us, wonder, will it expand forever? Will it curve back? Will it stop? Pause one more time. Let yourself rest in that picture. A balloon, a plane, a saddle. Three shapes, three possibilities, three answers that are not really answers, but reflections of the same truth. Space does not end with a hard wall. It either stretches, loops, or curves. No edge, no boundary.
Only endlessness in different forms.
So when we ask, does space end, perhaps the answer lies in shape, in geometry, in curves we cannot yet see. But whether flat, closed, or open, the comfort is the same. You are safe within it. There is no wall waiting.
Only continuation in ways the mind can barely imagine.
Take a long breath in and let it drift out slowly. Imagine yourself floating far above the galaxies now, not just above the Milky Way, not just above Andromeda, but so far out that entire clusters of galaxies appear as tiny specks. The further you drift, the more the pattern changes. The universe begins to reveal its shape, its hidden architecture. On the larger scales, galaxies are not scattered randomly. They are strung together in threads, woven into filaments, stretching for hundreds of millions of light years. Imagine beads of light strung on invisible threads, curling, looping, twisting across the dark. This is the cosmic web, the vast skeleton of the universe, where threads meet, clusters form, knots of galaxies bound by gravity, shining like jewels at the intersections. Between the filaments lie great voids, regions so empty that entire galaxies are rare within them. These voids can span hundreds of millions of light years, vast deserts of darkness, silent stretching across the cosmos. Pause here. Let that image settle. The universe is not a uniform fog of stars. It is more like lace, like a sponge, like a network of glowing rivers surrounded by deep night. Light gathers in strands. Darkness stretches between. It is a tapestry on scales we can barely imagine. Now imagine drifting along one of those filaments. Galaxies pass beneath you like cities on a highway, their spirals glowing, their clusters bustling with stars. You travel farther, and the thread curves, linking to another, weaving into a larger web. You pass through a junction where galaxies cluster tightly, a city of light, and then out again into emptier space. The pattern repeats: thread, knot, void, thread, knot, void. The cosmic web stretches endlessly, too vast for any one perspective to hold. Scientists believe this web formed from the tiny ripples in the early universe, amplified by gravity over billions of years. Dark matter provided the scaffolding, pulling galaxies into filaments, shaping the structure of everything we now see. Without dark matter, the universe would not have woven itself into this intricate lace. It would be scattered, chaotic, and unformed. Instead, it has order, balance, and design. Pause again. Take another breath. Imagine that you are part of this web, and you are. Our Milky Way is a bead on one of these threads, orbiting quietly, bound by invisible filaments. We are not separate from the structure. We are inside it, carried by it, woven into it. And here is the wonder: even this vast web may not be the end. Beyond what we can map, there may be more filaments, more voids, more clusters, continuing without limit. The web may stretch forever, a net without edges, infinite in its complexity. Or perhaps it folds, loops, curls back on itself, a pattern repeating endlessly, like fractals, smaller and larger, always the same, always new. Think of a spider's web glistening with dew. Each droplet reflects the light, each thread curves, delicate but strong. Now expand that image beyond imagination. Every droplet is a galaxy. Every thread is a filament of dark matter. The web itself stretches across the universe.
You are not outside of it watching.
You are inside it, resting on one of the threads, a part of the design. Pause once more.
Let yourself rest in that image.
The universe is not empty. It is structured. It has form. It has shape. It is not ending in silence, but stretching in patterns too vast to see all at once. So when we ask, does space end? The cosmic web answers softly. No edges, only threads. No walls, only strands. No endings, only connections, stretching farther than sight, farther than thought. Take another slow, deep breath.
In and out.
Feel how your chest rises, then falls. Even in this small rhythm, there is mystery. Even in the simple beat of your heart, there are depths you do not fully understand. The universe is the same. At its extremes, it creates objects so strange, so powerful, so unfamiliar, that they remind us how little we know about endings. One of these are pulsars. Imagine a star that has lived and died, collapsing into a dense core. This core spins, not gently, but with incredible speed. Sometimes hundreds of times every second. Beams of radiation shoot out from its poles, sweeping across space like the beams of a lighthouse. Every time one of those beams passes Earth, we detect a pulse. Pulse after pulse, steady as a heartbeat, more accurate than any clock. These stars are corpses, remnants, yet they pulse with the precision of life.
Pause here.
Picture it. A star crushed into a sphere no bigger than a city, yet heavier than our sun. Imagine standing on its surface, if you could, and feeling a gravity so strong it would flatten mountains, crush bones, silence everything. But from that silence comes rhythm, a steady flashing, a cosmic heartbeat echoing across the dark. Now imagine quasars. These are galaxies with hearts so active, so violent, that they shine brighter than trillions of suns. At their centers, black holes feed, pulling in gas and dust, heating it until it glows. The glow outshines the galaxy itself. Quasars are beacons visible from billions of light years away, so bright they cut through cosmic time. To see one is to look back into the universe's youth when galaxies were wild, chaotic, full of raw energy. Pause again, let the image expand. Imagine the night sky filled with such lights, galaxies blazing with ferocious brilliance, each one a furnace of creation and destruction.
That was the early universe.
Now most quasars have quieted, but their light still travels, still tells the story of their fury. Then there are magnetars, stars collapsed into remnants with magnetic fields so strong they defy comprehension. Imagine a field billions of times stronger than Earth's, so strong it can twist atoms, so strong it can wipe data from hard drives from halfway across the solar system. These objects are rare, but when they flare, they release more energy in a second than our sun produces in thousands of years.
A single blink, brighter than entire galaxies.
Pause once more, breathe. Let the strangeness sink in. Pulsars, quasars, magnetars, these are not familiar stars. These are the edge cases of physics, the places where our understanding falters, where space reveals its wildness.
And think about what they tell us.
The universe is not uniform, is not calm. It is full of extremes, full of contradictions. Dead stars that pulse with life, black holes that shine with brilliance, magnetic fields so strong they reshape reality. Where is the end in all this? Each ending creates something new. Each collapse becomes a new phenomenon. So when we ask, does space end, perhaps the better question is, does strangeness end? And the answer seems clear. No, the deeper we look, the stranger it becomes. The more we learn, the more mysteries we uncover. The universe is not running out of surprises. It is full of them, hidden, waiting, endless. Pause again. Imagine yourself drifting past one of these objects. A pulsar flashing in the night. A quasar blazing across time. A magnetar humming with invisible force. You are a witness, a traveler, a listener in the cosmic symphony. You may never touch them, but you can know them, imagine them, dream them.
And that is enough.
So does space end? The strange objects say no. They say that endings are beginnings, that collapse creates rhythm, that silence creates brilliance, that extremes are not limits, but doorways. Take another slow breath in.
And let it out.
Notice how your breath has a pace. It is not instant. Air flows in, fills your lungs, flows out again. Every movement takes time. Nothing happens all at once. This is true of the universe as well.
Even light, the fastest thing we know, has a speed.
And because it is not infinite, because it takes time, it creates the illusion of boundaries. Light travels at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second.
That sounds impossibly fast. Faster than we can truly imagine.
In the time it takes you to blink, light could circle Earth 7 times. And yet, even that speed is not enough to make the universe appear whole to us. The cosmos is vast and light takes time to cross it. The light from the moon takes 1 second to arrive. From the sun, 8 minutes. From the nearest star, 4 years. From distant galaxies, millions of years. And the farthest light we can see began its journey over 13 billion years ago, not long after the universe itself began. That light has been traveling all this time, and only now is it arriving at Earth. Pause here. Let that thought stretch out. You are never seeing the present. You're always looking into the past. The night sky is not a window into now, but a gallery of memories. Each star, each galaxy, each glow is a message sent long ago, still traveling, still arriving. Because light has a speed, it also creates a horizon. Beyond a certain distance, light has not yet had time to reach us. Not because space ends, but because time has not allowed us to see farther. It is like standing in a fog. The fog is not a wall. Beyond it, the landscape continues, but your vision stops at the haze. The speed of light is our fog. It gives us a cosmic horizon, a visible edge, but it is not a true edge. It is only a limit of sight. Imagine sailing across an ocean. As you look ahead, the horizon curves. You cannot see beyond it. But you know the ocean does not stop there. It continues even if your eyes cannot prove it. The speed of light makes the universe feel the same. We see an edge, but we know it is not the end. Pause again, breathe, feel the comfort in that. The universe may have horizons, but horizons are not boundaries. They are invitations. They remind us there is more, even if we cannot see it yet. And consider how this limit shapes our sense of existence. The observable universe, the part we can see, is about 93 billion light-years across. That number is already almost impossible to hold in your mind. But it is not the whole. It is just the part within our horizon. Beyond that, space may stretch endlessly. Galaxies upon galaxies, stars without number. They are hidden from us, not because they do not exist, but because light has not yet arrived. Pause once more.
Imagine waiting.
Imagine knowing that as time passes, more light will reach us, more galaxies will appear, more of the universe will reveal itself. The horizon is not fixed, it grows.
Every second, new light arrives.
Every second, the past becomes visible. We are constantly discovering more, not by moving, but by waiting. Time itself is the telescope. And think now of the paradox. The universe is expanding. Galaxies are being carried away faster than light can bring their messages. That means there are galaxies we will never see, no matter how long we wait.
Their light will never reach us.
They are beyond a permanent horizon, slipping away, hidden forever. Does that mean space ends?
No, it means space continues without us.
It means infinity grows even as our vision fades. Pause again. Let yourself rest in that idea. The speed of light is a gift and a limit. It lets us see, but it also keeps secrets. It shows us beauty, but it reminds us of mystery. It is both a window and a veil. So when we ask, does space end? The speed of light whispers, not here, not now. What you see is not all that exists. What lies beyond is hidden but real. You live within a horizon but not within a wall. The universe stretches farther than vision, farther than imagination, farther than light itself. Take another long, slow breath.
In and out.
Feel the quiet around you. Now imagine yourself not lying here but drifting upward, past the roof, past the clouds, into the thin air of the upper atmosphere. Imagine looking down at Earth, round and glowing, blue and white against the dark. You are leaving home. You are becoming an explorer. Humanity has always looked upward. For most of history, the stars were untouchable, lights in the sky forever out of reach. But in the last century, we began to step outward.
Rockets carried us above the air.
The first satellites circled Earth, sending back signals, images, whispers of space. Then came the astronauts climbing into orbit, walking on the moon, leaving footprints in dust untouched for billions of years. Pause here. Let that image linger.
A footprint on the moon, small, fragile, but real.
Proof that we are not bound to Earth. Proof that we can step into the infinite, even if only a little at a time. After the moon, our reach extended farther, though not with people, but with machines. The Voyager probes, launched in the 1970s, are still traveling. They have crossed beyond the planets, out into interstellar space. They carry golden records, messages from Earth, greetings in many languages, music, sounds of life. They drift now through the darkness, tiny messengers from our world, carrying the story of who we are, perhaps forever.
Pause again.
Imagine those small craft, no bigger than a car, floating billions of miles away, powered by fading generators, still whispering back to us, still carrying our touch into the endless dark. Humanity stretched thin across space, and yet compared to the cosmos, our reach is still so small. The farthest humans have traveled is the moon, just a few 100,000 kilometers away. The farthest spacecraft are only a few light hours away, not even a fraction of a light year. And remember, the nearest star is 4 light years away. Our galaxy alone is 100,000 light years across. The universe is billions of light years wide. Our steps, compared to that, are smaller than a grain of sand on a beach. Pause once more.
Feel the scale of that truth. Our reach is tiny.
Our vision is limited. And yet it matters, because every step outward, every satellite, every telescope, every probe stretches our horizon, expands our awareness, adds to the map of infinity. Consider the Hubble Space Telescope, launched in the 1990s. For decades, it has looked into the dark, capturing images of galaxies billions of years away. One of its most famous pictures, the Hubble Deep Field, showed thousands of galaxies in a patch of sky no bigger than a grain of sand held at arm's length. That image changed everything. It revealed that the universe is not just vast, but unimaginably populated, filled with galaxies in every direction, without end. Now consider the James Webb Space Telescope, a newer eye in the dark. It sees deeper in infrared light, revealing galaxies so distant their light began traveling not long after the Big Bang. Every picture it sends is a step further. Another curtain lifted, another reminder that the universe does not end where we once thought it might. Pause again, breathe, imagine yourself looking through those telescopes. Imagine seeing galaxies not just as points of light, but as swirls, clusters, arcs, each one filled with stars, each one a universe in itself. Feel how your mind expands, how your sense of end dissolves into something larger, and think of what may come. New telescopes, new missions, new journeys. Humans may one day walk on Mars, sail the oceans of icy moons, build ships that drift between the stars. Each step will feel small, but each will carry us farther. Each will expand the circle of what we know. So when we ask, does space end? Our exploration tells us, not yet, not here. Every time we thought we had reached the edge of Earth, the edge of the solar system, the edge of the visible galaxies, we found more to see, more to know, more to wonder about. Our journey is endless because space is endless. Our exploration has no final page because the book is too vast to close. Pause one last time. Let yourself rest in that comfort. You are part of a species that dares to ask, dares to reach, dares to step into infinity. You may not travel to the stars yourself, but you are part of the story. You are part of the exploration. And in that way, you are part of the answer. Space does not end. It continues, and so do we. Take a deep, slow breath in.
And let it out.
Imagine yourself lying beneath the stars thousands of years ago.
No telescopes, no rockets, no satellites.
Just open skies, flickering firelight, and the wonder of endless night. The question, does space end, is not new. It has lived in the hearts of people for as long as we have looked up. For the ancient Greeks, the sky was a dome.
A solid sphere that arched overhead, carrying stars like jewels fixed in place.
Beyond the dome lay chaos or heaven or mystery. They imagined the gods moving across the heavens, carrying the sun in chariots, turning the stars with invisible hands. To them, the end of space was not distance, but divinity. It was the realm of the eternal, the dwelling place of gods. Pause here.
Imagine that dome above you.
Blue by day, black by night, dotted with fire. Solid, eternal enclosing. Comforting in its way, because it gave shape to infinity. For the Norse, the sky was Yggdrasil, the great world tree. Its branches stretched over all realms, connecting gods, humans, and giants. The stars were lights shining through its leaves, the heavens woven into its vast canopy. In that vision, space did not end, it connected. It was a web, a bridge between worlds, a living infinity rooted in myth. The Hindus imagined the universe as cyclical, time and space expanding, collapsing, reborn again and again. No final end, only endless cycles of creation and destruction. Gods breathing out universes, gods breathing them back in.
Infinity not as distance, but as rhythm.
A heartbeat of existence that never truly ceases.
Pause again.
Breathe with that rhythm.
Inhale, exhale.
Creation, dissolution. Expansion, contraction. A cycle mirrored in your own breath. The ancient Chinese saw the sky as layered heavens, stacked above the earth like domes upon domes. Beyond them stretched realms of immortals, vast palaces of gods, infinite in their majesty. The sky was not an empty void, but a populated empire, rich with stories, endless in scale. And the Egyptians looked up and saw Nut, the sky goddess, arched across the world, her body a canopy of stars. The end of space, to them, was her embrace. The living body of divinity holding creation.
Space was not empty.
It was alive. It was personal. Pause once more. Imagine lying in the desert night, stars scattered across the goddess's body, each one part of her endlessness, each one a reminder that the sky itself is living. Every culture, in its own way, answered the question, does space end? And their answers were not wrong, just different. They reflected what humans felt, awe, fear, hope, wonder. Some imagined endings, some imagined cycles, some imagined infinity. All of them sought comfort in the stories they told, the same way we seek comfort in science today. And think of what this means. Across time, across continents, across languages, the human response to the sky has been the same, to wonder. You are not the first to lie awake with the stars above you, asking if they ever end. You are part of a long chain of wanderers, storytellers, seekers. Your question connects you to them across centuries, across cultures, across space itself. So when we ask, does space end, we are also asking, how have humans dreamed of infinity? And the answer is as endless as the sky. The Greeks dreamed of domes. The Norse dreamed of trees. The Hindus dreamed of cycles. The Chinese dreamed of layers. The Egyptians dreamed of goddesses. And we dream of galaxies. Pause again, breathe, feel the comfort in that. The question itself is timeless. It belongs to all of us. It will never end, just as space will never end. Take another slow breath.
Inhale, exhale.
Let your body soften into the stillness around you. Now imagine the night sky again, endless stars scattered across the dark. You know, there are billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars. You know, there are countless planets circling those stars. By numbers alone, it feels certain that life should exist elsewhere. And yet, when we listen, when we watch, when we search, well, we hear silence. This is the paradox, the Fermi paradox. If the universe is so vast, if space may never end, why do we not see evidence of others?
Where are the voices? Where are the lights?
Where are the signals from distant civilizations? The silence is as mysterious as infinity itself. Pause here. Let the question linger.
Feel its weight.
The stars should be alive with sound, with contact, with company. And yet they are not, or at least not in a way we can hear. Some say civilizations may not last. They may rise, shine for a moment, and then fade like sparks in the dark. Perhaps life is common, but survival is rare. Perhaps others have come and gone before we even existed. In that case, the silence is not absence, but distance in time. Others imagine that civilizations may choose not to speak, that silence is not emptiness, but caution. The universe is vast, but it may not be safe. To remain quiet may be to remain alive. Perhaps the silence is deliberate, a shared understanding written in absence. Pause again, breathe with that thought. Silence can mean many things. It can mean nothing is there. It can mean something is there but chooses not to speak. It can mean we have not yet learned to listen in the right way. And consider this, maybe the universe is alive with voices, but we do not yet know the language. Our ears are tuned to certain signals, our machines to certain frequencies. But perhaps the cosmos speaks in ways we cannot yet detect, in gravitational waves, in patterns of light,
in the rhythm of stars themselves.
The silence may not be silence at all. It may be our own deafness. Imagine standing in a forest at night. You hear nothing and you think it is empty, but the animals are there, hidden, quiet, speaking in ways beyond your hearing. The forest is alive. You just cannot tell. The universe may be the same. Pause once more. Let yourself rest in that image. A cosmic forest. Stars like trees, planets like nests, civilizations like hidden animals. The silence is not proof of emptiness. It is proof of mystery. And think of the comfort in that.
If we are alone, then space is ours to wonder at, ours to explore.
If we are not alone, then we are part of a greater story, a community of seekers, hidden now, but perhaps revealed one day. Either way, the silence does not end the question. It expands it. So when we ask, does space end? The silence adds another layer. Maybe space does not end, but maybe voices do not carry across it. Or maybe they carry, but we have not yet learned to hear them. Silence itself becomes a horizon, and not of space, but of knowledge. Beyond it, who knows what waits? Pause again, breathe slowly. Feel how the silence of the night around you mirrors the silence of the stars. And remember, silence is not absence. Silence is a possibility.
Take another slow breath in and let it out.
Feel your body sinking deeper into the surface beneath you. The room is quiet. The night is quiet.
And above you, whether you see it or not, the stars are waiting.
The night sky is always there, a ceiling of infinity stretched across your life. It has no end.
It has no beginning.
It is a presence, a poem, a companion. When you look up, you are not only seeing stars, you are seeing memories, stories, echoes. You are seeing the same sky your ancestors saw thousands of years ago. You are seeing the same constellations painted in myths, the same patterns sailors used to find their way, the same lights that guided lovers, warriors, dreamers. The sky has always been above us, and it has always been poetry. Pause here. Let yourself imagine lying in an open field. The grass beneath you, the cool air around you, above the stars scattered like seeds across dark soil.
You look, and the more you look, the more you see. A faint band of mist, the Milky Way, a river of light flowing endlessly.
You cannot see where it begins.
You cannot see where it ends.
You only know it flows, and you are part of it. The stars do not hurry. They do not rush. They shine with patience. A star may burn for billions of years. Its light crosses space for millions more. And yet when you see it, it feels immediate, personal. A star hundreds of light years away becomes part of your night, your thoughts, your breath.
Infinity becomes intimate.
Pause again.
Inhale, exhale.
Think of how the stars twinkle.
Not because they flicker, but because the air above Earth bends their light.
To your eye, the stars dance, shimmer, move. Even infinity is softened, made gentle by the atmosphere. The night sky becomes a lullaby, each twinkle a note in a song older than humanity.
And yet, the sky is never the same.
Constellations shift with the seasons. Orion rises in winter, fades in summer. Scorpius climbs in the heat, disappears in the cold. The stars above you tonight are not the same ones that will watch you months from now.
And yet, they are eternal.
The sky is changing and the sky is permanence.
It is both at once endless in its duality.
Pause once more.
Imagine that cycle.
Imagine lying beneath the stars year after year, seeing the same constellations return as if greeting you again.
Old friends, familiar, timeless.
The sky never ends because it always returns. It is infinite in its patience, infinite in its rhythm. Now imagine the stars not as points, but as waves. An ocean above you, each star a crest of light, each galaxy a tide. The night sky is the sea turned upside down, endless, flowing beyond shores, beyond maps. You lie on the beach of Earth, looking out at the waves of light. The sea does not end. The sky does not end. You are a swimmer in both. Pause again. Let your breath fall into rhythm with the waves.
Inhale, the tide rises. Exhale, the tide falls.
Stars shimmer with your breath. The sky becomes part of your body. Infinity becomes part of your being. And think of this, every person who has ever lived has looked at this sky. Kings and beggars, poets and scientists, children and elders,
lovers and the lonely.
The sky has seen them all. It has held their questions, their prayers, their songs. The stars have watched silently, endlessly, never ending, never judging. You are part of that same lineage. You are one more soul under the infinite. Pause once more. Feel how that connects you. You are not alone beneath the stars.
You never were.
You never will be. And now think of how the stars mirror you. Your eyes sparkle like stars. Your neurons flash like constellations. Your heartbeat pulses like light. The infinity above you is reflected inside you. You are not looking at something separate. You are looking at yourself, stretched across the sky. Pause, inhale, exhale. Let that comfort you. You are the night sky and the night sky is you. Take another slow breath.
In and out.
Let your shoulders release, let your eyes grow heavy. Imagine now that you are lying on a mountainside. The air is thin, cool against your skin. The world below is asleep, and above you the sky blooms with stars more than you have ever seen in the city. Each one sharp, clear, alive. They feel closer here, as though you could reach out and touch them. As though the dome of night has lowered itself just for you. You trace the shapes of constellations. The hunter, the scorpion, the swan gliding across the river of the Milky Way. These patterns are not written in the stars themselves, but in our minds, and yet they endure. The same patterns recognized thousands of years ago by shepherds, sailors, wanderers. The same patterns whispered in myths, carved into stone, drawn on parchment. The night sky has always been a canvas, and humanity has always painted on it. Pause here, breathe. Imagine your breath drifting upward, joining the stars. Imagine your thoughts written in constellations glowing softly forever. Now shift the scene. You are not on a mountain, but in the desert. The sand cool beneath you, the horizon stretching without end. Here, the stars blaze even brighter, unsoftened by moisture or haze. The Milky Way arches overhead like a bridge, a luminous path across infinity. The desert below and the sky above mirror one another. Endless sand, endless stars. Both vast, both silent, both eternal. You lie between them, a small spark, cradled in endlessness. Pause again. Feel how that smallness is not frightening, but comforting. To be small is to belong. To be small is to be part of something larger. Now imagine the ocean. Waves crash softly, rhythmically, each one a reminder of time's passing. Above the stars shimmer. The water reflects them, doubling the infinity. You cannot tell where the sky ends and the sea begins. The horizon blurs.
Above and below you are surrounded.
The stars shine above you, the stars shimmer beneath you, the stars live inside you. You are held on all sides. Pause once more. Breathe with the waves.
Inhale as they rise.
Exhale as they fall. Let your breath become the ocean. Let your body become the night. And think of the forests. Imagine lying on your back in a clearing, trees silhouetted against the glow of the stars. The branches sway gently in the breeze, framing patches of sky. You see only fragments, but you know the whole stretches endlessly above. That is how life often feels. Glimpses, fragments, pieces of infinity peeking through the branches. You never see it all, but you always know it is there. Pause, inhale, exhale. Let that truth sink in. The sky is whole, even if you see only a part.
Every landscape gives the night sky a different voice.
In the mountains, it whispers clarity. In the desert, it sings vastness.
At the ocean, it hums rhythm.
In the forest, it murmurs mystery. Wherever you are, the stars speak. And wherever you go, the sky follows. It is the same sky above every place, above every person, above every age. It has no borders. It has no end. Now think of how the stars mark time. You have watched the sun set, the sky darken, the first stars appear. One by one, they arrive like friends gathering. Then hours later, dawn comes, and they fade. But they do not disappear. They are still there, shining, hidden by the glow of the sun. Even when you cannot see them, they are present. The stars never leave. They only hide. Infinity is always with you. Pause here. Let yourself rest in that comfort. The stars never end. They are always above you, waiting, shining, patient. Think now of the moon. It waxes, wanes, disappears, returns. A cycle steady and eternal. It lights the night, reflects the sun, ties the ocean's tides, whispers to lovers and poets. Its phases are a rhythm as old as life itself. To see the moon is to see eternity in motion. It reminds you that endings are never endings. They are transformations, always returning, always circling. And think of the planets.
Moving among the stars, wandering lights. Ancient people watched them, gave them names, built calendars, predicted seasons.
The planets too are poetry. They dance their slow dance across the sky, sometimes close, sometimes far, always returning to their paths. Infinity is not static. It is moving. It is alive. Pause once more. Breathe. Let your breath fall into rhythm with the orbits. Let your thoughts drift like planets circling stars. And now think of yourself. You are not just beneath the sky. You are part of it. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs, all were born in stars. You are the night sky remembering itself. You are infinity made conscious. When you look up, you are not looking at something foreign. You are looking at your own reflection. Pause here.
Feel the comfort in that.
You are not separate from infinity. You are infinity, experiencing itself through eyes, through breath, through wonder. The poetry of the night sky is endless because it is not only above you, it is within you. Every heartbeat echoes the pulse of a star. Every breath mirrors the rise and fall of galaxies. Every dream is a constellation forming in your mind. You are the poem. You are the stars. You are the endlessness asking, does space ever end? Pause once more. Inhale, exhale, let the question dissolve. Let the stars hold the answer for you. The answer is not a word. It is not an equation. It is presence. It is comfort. It is infinity itself. Take another long, slow breath.
In and out.
Feel your chest rise. Feel your chest fall. Imagine now that the night has deepened. Hours have passed and still you are lying beneath the stars. The air is cooler. The world is quieter. Even the sounds of life have slowed. It is just you, your breath, and the sky. Above, the Milky Way shines brighter. It is not a single band of light, but millions of stars so close together they blur into a river. Imagine drifting along that river, floating on its current. Each star is a drop of water, each galaxy a whirlpool, each cluster a bend in the stream. The river has no mouth, no end. It flows beyond sight, beyond time, beyond imagination. Pause here, breathe, let the river carry you. You do not need to swim. You do not need to steer. You are carried always, forever. Now think of time itself passing in the sky. The stars rise in the east, move across the heavens, set in the west. The sky is a clock, ancient and unbroken. Civilizations told time by its motions, planted by its rhythms, sailed by its patterns. The stars guided them just as they guide you.
Even as they move, even as they change, they are steady.
Infinity disguised as rhythm.
And imagine centuries of humans beneath the same stars.
A poet in ancient China writing verses about the moon. A philosopher in Greece wondering if the sky has an edge. A sailor in Polynesia navigating by constellations across the ocean. A child in Africa pointing upward in wonder.
All of them, all of us, looking at the same stars, dreaming the same dreams, asking the same questions. Infinity is not only vast.
It is shared. Pause again. Inhale, exhale, feel that connection. Every person who has ever lived has looked at this same sky. You are part of a human chain stretching across thousands of years, bound together by stars. Now imagine lying in a snowfield. The world is white, silent, the air sharp with cold. The stars above sparkle even brighter in the frozen stillness. The snow reflects them, so the ground glitters with starlight too. Above and below stars, you are suspended between them as though floating in the middle of space itself.
Up and down lose their meaning.
Infinity surrounds you from every side. Pause once more. Let that image rest. Snow beneath, stars above, you in the middle.
Endlessness holding you.
Think of how the sky changes with place. Near the equator, the stars wheel overhead in high arcs. Near the poles, they circle low, slow, eternal. In the desert, they blaze with clarity. In the jungle, they peek through leaves. In cities, they dim, but they are still there, waiting behind the glow. No matter where you are, the stars remain. They do not vanish. They do not end. They only wait. And think of how the sky changes with time. The stars you see tonight are not the stars seen by dinosaurs. The Earth tilts, wobbles, spins, and the constellations shift.
Over millennia, the sky changes.
But it never ends. It transforms slowly, gently, across ages. Infinity is not static. It is alive. Pause again, breathe, let yourself rest in that thought. The stars are alive with motion, but their motion is eternity. Now imagine the silence of the night sky. You cannot hear the stars, but you can feel their presence. The silence is not empty. It is full of possibility.
Full of stories, full of comfort.
You listen. And in the silence, you hear yourself. Your own breath, your own heartbeat, your own awareness.
Infinity is not only out there.
It is inside you. And consider this, even when clouds hide the stars, they are still there.
Even when daylight masks them, they are still there.
Even when you close your eyes, they are still there. The stars do not leave you. They are faithful, eternal, endless. Infinity does not abandon. It only hides gently until you are ready to see again. Pause once more. Inhale, exhale. Let that truth settle in. You are never without the stars. And think now of the future.
Long after you are gone, the stars will still shine.
Long after cities crumble, forests fade, oceans change, the stars will remain. New generations will lie beneath them, wonder at them, dream under them. The poetry of the night sky will never end. It will be written again and again by new eyes, new voices, new hearts. Infinity is not a line. It is a chorus. You are one verse in that chorus, one note in that endless song. Pause here. Let that comfort hold you. You are part of a song that has no final note. And so when we ask, does space end? The night sky answers softly. It answers in silence. It answers in rhythm.
It answers in presence.
No edge, no wall, no final page.
Only continuation, only return, only infinity.
Pause once more. Breathe slowly. Feel the stars above you, the stars within you, the stars before you and after you. Feel yourself dissolve into them, not as something small, but as something endless. The poetry of the night sky is not only written in words, it is written in you. Take another slow, steady breath.
Inhale and exhale.
Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Feel how it mirrors the rhythm of the stars above you. Quiet, steady, timeless. Every breath is a reminder. You are part of the same universe, moving in the same cadence, glowing with the same energy. Now imagine yourself lying beneath the night sky, not for minutes, not for hours, but for years. Seasons shift, constellations rotate, the moon waxes and wanes, planets drift across the horizon. You would see the slow dance of the heavens unfold, stars rising, fading, patterns repeating. And even as everything changed, the sky would never truly leave you. Its presence would be constant. Pause here. Breathe again.
Think of how comforting it is to know the stars will return. Even when hidden by clouds, even when lost in daylight, even when unseen for months, they always return.
Infinity does not abandon you.
It circles back again and again, endlessly patient.
Imagine lying in the jungle, the air thick with warmth, the night alive with the hum of insects. Above the canopy, the stars glow faintly through gaps in the leaves. You catch glimpses, a constellation here, a bright star there, the curve of the Milky Way like mist between the trees. You cannot see the whole, but you know it is there. Infinity reveals itself in pieces, fragments, glimpses. You trust the hidden parts because you feel them even when you cannot see them. Now imagine the tundra, vast and open, snow stretching in all directions. The sky above is sharp, cold, crystalline. The aurora dances and ribbons of green, pink, violet unfurling across the dark. It is still the same sky, but here it moves, it shimmers, it breathes color. Infinity is not only vast, it is playful. It paints, it sings, it dances. The universe is not only endless, it is alive. Pause again. Let your breath slow. Inhale, exhale. Feel the colors of the aurora settle around you, soft and quiet. Think now of the desert at night, the sand still warm from the day, the silence deeper than silence.
Above you, stars blaze with an intensity you almost forgot was possible.
Without cities, without lights, without distraction, the sky reveals its true self.
Millions of stars.
Rivers of galaxies, darkness so deep it glows. In the desert, infinity is undeniable. You feel small, yes, but also held, protected, part of a larger whole. Pause once more. Let that desert sky stay with you.
Endless, silent, eternal.
And now imagine drifting at sea. The boat rocks gently, water lapping softly against its sides. Above, stars reflect on the surface, so the ocean becomes a mirror of the sky. You cannot tell where water ends and where heaven begins. It is all one, sea and sky, above and below, endless and seamless. You are floating not on the ocean, but on infinity itself. And still the stars do more than shine, they inspire. Poets have written verses under them. Lovers have whispered vows beneath them. Travelers have followed them. Warriors have prayed to them. Children have made wishes on them. The stars hold our stories. They carry our hopes. They listen to our questions. Infinity is not empty. It is filled with human meaning. Pause again, breathe, feel that truth. When you look at the stars, you are not only looking outward, you are looking inward. The sky above is a mirror of the soul within. Think now of the endlessness of questions. Every star raises another. What lies beyond it? How did it form? How long will it shine? What comes after? Each question unfolds into more. Just like the universe, questions never end. They expand, multiply, stretch outward.
Infinity is not only space. Infinity is thought.
Infinity is a wonder, and in that wonder lies peace, because you do not need every answer. You do not need to reach the edge of space. It is enough to rest in the asking, to lie beneath the stars, to breathe, to know you are part of something larger. Infinity is not something to solve. It is something to belong to. Pause once more. Inhale, exhale, let the stars belong to you. Let yourself belong to the stars. The night sky is poetry because it speaks without words. It whispers in silence.
It sings in light.
It teaches patience. It teaches perspective.
It teaches wonder.
It never ends because its message is always new. Every night the sky writes another verse. Every dawn it hides it away. Every evening it begins again, a poem without end. So when we ask, does space end, the night sky answers softly, look up, look again,
look forever.
The poem never ends. Take a deep, slow breath.
Inhale, exhale.
Feel the calm around you. Now imagine a star, massive, heavy, burning with fury. It shines for millions of years, but one day it runs out of fuel. Gravity takes over, pulling inward, collapsing the star into something denser and denser until it becomes a black hole. A black hole is an ending, but also a beginning. It is where light cannot escape, where time itself bends, where matter disappears from view, crossing what we call the event horizon, the point of no return. From the outside, the star is gone, but inside its story continues, hidden, unknowable. Pause here, breathe. Imagine standing at the edge of one.
The sky warps, light bends, time slows.
You look at your watch. The hands move normally. But if someone far away watched you, they would see you slow down, stretch, almost freeze. At the edge of a black hole, time nearly stops. The universe itself bends. Think of what that means for our question. Does space end? To the black hole, space and time themselves end, or at least transform. The inside of a black hole is not part of our universe in the way we understand. It is cut off, hidden behind the horizon. To us, it is an end. To the star, it is a continuation.
Infinity folded inward.
And yet black holes are not only destroyers, they shape galaxies. At the center of nearly every galaxy is a supermassive black hole.
Millions or billions of times the mass of the sun. These black holes anchor galaxies,
holding them together, influencing their stars, shaping their growth. Without black holes, galaxies as we know them would not exist. Endings create beginnings. Pause again. Breathe slowly. Imagine the Milky Way, our galaxy circling its center. At that center, a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A8. Invisible, silent, yet holding billions of stars in orbit. Without it, we would not be here. But black holes themselves have fates. For decades, scientists believed they were eternal, swallowing everything, never fading. But Stephen Hawking showed us something new. Black holes are not perfectly black. They leak energy faintly, slowly. This Hawking radiation means black holes shrink over unimaginable spans of time. Trillions upon trillions of years from now, even the largest black holes may evaporate, disappearing into faint whispers of energy. Pause once more.
Imagine that distant future.
Stars long gone, galaxies faded, and black holes, the last giants of the cosmos, slowly dissolving like ice melting in the sun. Even they, the great devourers, are not eternal. Infinity stretches beyond them too. But what happens inside a black hole? That is a question without answer. Some believe there is a singularity, a point of infinite density where the laws of physics break down. Others think space and time fold into something else entirely, perhaps even into new universes. A black hole could be a doorway,
an end here, a beginning elsewhere.
A tunnel through infinity. Pause, let yourself imagine that. Every black hole a gateway, every collapse a seed of creation.
Endings that are not endings, but births, infinity hidden within darkness.
So when we ask, does space end, black holes answer in paradox. They are ends for light, for matter, for time. Yet they are also beginnings, shapers, creators. They dissolve eventually, but in their lives they anchor galaxies, sculpt stars, perhaps even spawn new realities. Pause one final time.
Inhale, exhale.
Let the mystery of black holes settle over you. They are the deepest shadows in the sky, but also the brightest truths that endings are never absolute. Even in the darkest places, infinity waits. Take a long breath in
and let it out.
Feel your chest rise, feel it fall. Now imagine that you are looking at the night sky again. The stars shine, galaxies swirl, infinity stretches. And yet some scientists believe all of this, everything you see, everything you know, everything we call the universe, might be only one among countless others. This is the idea of the multiverse.
Not one universe, but many.
Not one infinity, but layers of infinity, stacked, branching, unfolding. If true, then space does not end because our universe is not the whole. It is a bubble in a sea of bubbles, each one a universe with its own laws, its own stars, its own possibilities. Pause here. Let that image unfold. Imagine yourself drifting in an endless ocean. Around you, bubbles rise, float, shimmer, pop. Each bubble is a universe, complete within itself. You live in one of them, unable to see outside. But beyond your bubble are countless others, invisible, unreachable, but real. One version of the multiverse comes from inflation, the rapid expansion of the universe just after the Big Bang. Scientists believe that inflation may not have stopped everywhere at once. Some regions may still be inflating, birthing new universes endlessly. Our universe is one bubble that cooled, that grew, galaxies and stars. But inflation continues beyond, producing bubble after bubble, a cosmic foam of universes without end. Pause again, breathe, imagine that foam. Imagine each bubble glowing with galaxies, each one an entire sky, each one a separate infinity. The foam has no edges, no boundaries.
Only continuation, only more.
Another version of the multiverse comes from quantum mechanics. In this view, every decision, every event, every possibility branches into new realities. When you flip a coin, one universe holds heads, another holds tails. When you make a choice, one version of you walks one path, another walks another. Infinity multiplies, endlessly branching, endlessly expanding. Pause once more. Let yourself rest in that thought. Every version of you is out there, somewhere, in some branch.
Every dream realized, every path taken, every life lived. Nothing ends. Everything continues, endlessly branching, endlessly unfolding.
And there is yet another version, universes stacked like layers, higher dimensions beyond our own. Imagine a sheet of paper with ants crawling across it. To them, the paper is everything. They cannot see up or down. But you, looking down, see their whole world, and beyond it, more sheets stacked above and below. If we are the ants, then perhaps our universe is just one page in a vast book of universes, endless pages, endless stories. Pause here. Breathe again. Imagine that book. Imagine flipping through its pages. Each one a different reality, each one an infinity of its own. The book has no last page, no final chapter.
Only continuation, only more stories.
What would it mean if this were true? If our universe is not the only one, then asking does space end may be the wrong question. Space in our bubble may one day end. Galaxies may fade, stars may die, black holes may evaporate. But beyond our bubble, beyond our page, more universes rise, more infinities unfold.
Endings become local, never final.
Infinity becomes layered. Pause again, exhale, feel the comfort in that.
Even if our universe ends, something continues.
Always, somewhere, somehow, infinity remains. And think of the mystery this holds. We cannot see these other universes. We may never prove they exist, but the possibility itself expands us. It reminds us that what we call everything may not be everything. What we call infinite may only be one thread in a larger tapestry. The multiverse may be the ultimate answer to the question, does space end? The answer may be no, not because our universe is endless, but because there are always more universes beyond. Pause once more. Breathe deeply. Imagine yourself not just lying beneath one sky, but surrounded by infinite skies. Not just one set of stars, but countless sets in countless worlds, in countless infinities. You belong to one of them, but you are part of them all. Take one more slow, gentle breath.
Inhale and exhale.
Feel how your body settles a little deeper, how your thoughts soften, how your awareness begins to blur at the edges. You have traveled far tonight, across galaxies, across time, across the mysteries of space. And yet here you are, lying safely, quietly, wrapped in the comfort of the present moment. The question we began with still echoes, does space end? And maybe the truest answer is that it does not matter. Whether space stretches forever or curves back on itself or branches into infinite universes, you are always part of it. You are not outside infinity, you are within it. You are infinity, breathing, dreaming, resting. Pause here. Breathe again. Let the question dissolve. Let the stars hold the answer for you. The night sky has shown us its wonders. Stars, galaxies, webs of light, dark matter, black holes, parallel worlds. We have wandered through myths and science, through poetry and physics. And each time we asked, does it end? The universe whispered back, no edge, no wall, no final page.
Only continuation, only return, only infinity.
Now imagine yourself back beneath the stars. The air is cool, the night is deep. Above you, 1,000 points of light shimmer, steady, patient. They do not hurry, they do not end, they simply shine. You breathe in, you breathe out. You are not separate from them. You are their continuation, their echo, their reflection. Pause once more, feel that comfort. The stars do not end and neither do you. Let your mind drift now. Imagine floating in the river of the Milky Way, stars around you like glowing drops of water. You do not need to swim. You are carried gently, slowly, endlessly. There is no shore, no end, only flow. The river is time, the river is space, the river is you. And now picture yourself lying on soft grass in an open field. The earth holds you, the sky cradles you. You look up and see infinity written above. You close your eyes and the stars remain, shining behind your eyelids, shining in your memory, shining in your breath.
Even when you do not see them, they are there.
Infinity never leaves you. Breathe again.
Inhale, exhale.
Feel your breath as part of the universe's rhythm. Every inhale is creation. Every exhale is release. Every breath is a cycle, like galaxies forming, stars burning, black holes fading. You are part of the cosmic rhythm. You are part of the endlessness. And as you rest here, safe and calm, know this. The universe is not rushing. It is not closing. It is not ending. It is stretching, breathing, unfolding. Just like you. You are not a visitor in space. You are space. You are not apart from infinity. You are infinity experiencing itself in this body, in this moment, in this breath. Pause one last time. Let that truth hold you.
You belong.
You always have. You always will. So as you drift now, let the stars watch over you. Let the silence cradle you. Let the question fade. There is no need for answers.
There is only rest.
There is only peace. There is only the endless night holding you, comforting you, carrying you into sleep. Sleep now. Drift now. Infinity will be here when you wake.